He's finished second to me so many times, you got to be getting sick of it. If he could fall out one time, that'd be great. We've won a lot of races, but every time I look in the mirror, he's there.
Go, Benny.
Is there a way to beat this guy?
Win, win, win. That's all we can do. Dale Earnhardt is driving smarter and better than he's ever driven.
The guy is phenomenal.
Roll B. Take B.
I think he's more intense than any of the other guys.
He's got the drive that he never gives up.
I think he is possessed. I believe that's what it is.
It just wears you out having that 3-car in the rearview mirror. He's everywhere. Where will this guy turn up next?
Ready, 1. Take 1. Roll A. Up on A. Ready to fade to black and roll X. Happy 15th anniversary, ESPN. Roll X and fade to black. Up on X. Okay, guys, we're going now.
ESPN, celebrating its 15th year as the world's leader in motorsports coverage, welcomes you live to the Wilkesboro Speedway. Start of today's NASCAR Winston Cup Tyson Holly Farms 400. We're in a hurry-up mode because there's weather in the area. Take a look at our starting lineup. It's an all-Junior Johnson front row. Jimmy Spencer, Bill Elliott, Earnhardt qualified in third spot alongside Mark Martin. And the big concern, Ned Jarrett and Benny Parsons, back in the field, the guy who's been on the move, Rusty Wallace.
But you might as well chalk up number 7 to Earnhardt, because all he's got to worry about right now is number 8, because this guy is unbelievable.
No, I don't think so, Benny. Hey, there's 5 races to go, including today's, and if he just falls out twice, Rusty's right there in the thick of this thing.
You're making Rusty Wallace the Superman, but here they go. Green flag about to drop.
We'll settle that argument later. Glad to have you with us here. Green flag at North Wilkesboro Speedway. 36 cars qualified, 6 went home. We'll tell you who they were in just a moment as you watch the opening lap here as Junior Johnson's Fords battle side by side in turn 3.
Hanging pretty tough out there on the outside.
He just won't give up.
No, Earnhardt trying to take advantage of it. And I think the inside groove is going to be the better groove here in the early part of the race.
That was a glimpse a moment ago from Mark Martin's in-car camera. The Valvoline Ford Thunderbird back in 4th position. Now, as you watch Earnhardt make a move inside, Elliott, your thoughts now. You think that Earnhardt hasn't wrapped up, man?
Well, he's 217 points, and it's just, I don't know where you're going to beat the guy. As Mark Martin said at the tease of the show, he's never driven any better or any smarter. And look, right now, he is going to take the lead in 2 or 3 laps from Jimmy Spencer.
Well, he'll certainly try to take the lead and get those 5 bonus points. No question about that. He knows what it takes to win the championship, but you never know when bad luck just might rear its ugly head. Of course, I guess Wallace could do the same thing, so...
Well, we went off the air as you watch him move inside of Spencer here in the early laps. That doesn't look like a guy who's trying to stay in position to win the championship.
That's the one advantage that Rusty Wallace has. I think that Earnhardt wants to win a race as badly as anyone here. He and Spencer make contact.
We're not even 10 laps in, and he and Spencer are already playing bumper tag here at North Wilkesboro Speedway, and Earnhardt has a shot to take the lead.
He's alongside Spencer. He'll take the lead. He will lead this lap coming by. He'll get those 5 bonus points for leading the lap as he comes off turn 4.
This record crowd has not sat down since the green flag. They are still on their feet, and boy, do they wave and shout as Earnhardt takes the lead, and now Elliott has a shot at the second spot.
We saw Dale Earnhardt direct the opening of our show. He's directing the race here in North Wilkesboro, the Tyson race, as he leads.
After the race last week at Martinsville, you heard Earnhardt tell John Kernan, our pit announcer, North Wilkesboro is mine.
Well, he was awfully fast in practice. Thought he should have got the pole, and then the Junior Johnson car slipped up there and got ahead of him, but he's proving right now how fast that Chevrolet is.
There we see that Mark Martin turned about 8,200 RPMs, about 119 miles an hour.
So Rusty trying to pick his way up through the pack.
Right now, Rusty Wallace has been shown in 25th spot. Bill Weber, what happened to Rusty on the start?
Benny Rusty got off to a rough start with the same problem he had yesterday. His throttle is hanging up. Yesterday during final practice in the garage, all you could see of Rusty Wallace were his feet sticking out of the car. He was underneath working on some material, and that came from the throttle hanging up. That's the same problem they've had here in the early laps. They're working to get it fixed. Rusty's trying to work his way through the pack.
He is back in heavy traffic, currently being shown back in 24th position after starting in 19th spot. Here's the battle up front between Earnhardt and Bill Elliott. Now, here's a car that had an outstanding qualifying effort, the Olive Garden Chevrolet of Dave Marcus.
And he qualified sixth and still running in sixth place. A moment ago, he was up beside of Bobby Hamilton in the 40 car there. So Dave Marcus very racy here today.
His first top 10 start, Benny, in 3 years, and we saw him have a great run at Bristol early in the year.
Yes, we did. It'd be great if Marcus could use this race today to show people he can run, get a sponsor for next year. How about the 95 car? Jeff Green qualified in the 5th spot. Great qualifying run for Jeff Green. And John Kernan has a comment on Dave Marcus.
Benny, this is the same car that Dave Marcus had at Martinsville last weekend and missed the race. He said he flat messed up in second round qualifying. They brought it here to North Wilkesboro, the same springs, the same shocks, the same gear, and the same motor. And no, it's not a Richard Childress motor. No, it's not a Rick Hendrick motor. It is a motor Ace Aruba and Brett Thrower works for Richard Jackson. Their motor has just got very few laps on it. Dave feels very confident about today.
There's Dave Marcus, car number 71. He has a couple of extra associate sponsors, which we'll tell you a little bit more about later on. There's the man they're chasing in the early laps here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Dale Earnhardt in the Goodrich Chevrolet. And about 3 car lengths back is Bill Elliott, driving his last race in a Junior Johnson-owned car at this racetrack.
Jeff Bodine and Jeff Gordon going at it. Gordon trying to get on the inside of Jeff Bodine, but couldn't quite make the pass.
Jeff Gordon just passed Jeff Bodine just passed Jeff Gordon for that spot.
And Terry Labonte, the car number 5, the Kellogg's cornflake car, just passed Darrell Waltrip the last lap.
That's 8th and 9th position as you're riding along with Darrell Waltrip there in the Western Auto Chevrolet. Darrell, a 10-time winner here at North Wilkesboro. In fact, he's won this race 6 times.
Then we look at some Chevy telemetry from inside his car.
Delco Electronics telemetry. You watch the RPMs and the miles per hour. And what kind of speed then are we talking about on the straightaways here?
Well, I was a little bit surprised here. They run about 120 or 17 to 120 in that area. There you see he got up to 118 that time. I thought they would run 125 or 130.
Mark Martin passes up pole sitter Spencer. Moves into 3rd spot. And here comes Bobby Hamilton. We can't say enough about a great qualifying run by Bobby Hamilton in the Kendall Oil car.
You know, Bobby led laps in Richmond a few weeks ago in this same car and in fact ran in the top 10 all day last Sunday at Martinsville until that final pit stop. The caution came out and he lost a couple laps, but a great run the past few weeks for Bobby Hamilton. This team has really come together. Let's check in once again with John Kernan.
Jerry, as Jimmy Spencer drops back to 4th place, Mark Martin gets around him. Jimmy and complained to his crew that the car has picked up a push. It's very, very tight.
Well, that's the reason Jimmy Spencer now dropping back a little bit after putting that car on the pole. His first ever Winston Cup pole comes in his 139th Winston Cup start. We're in the early laps here at North Wilkesboro Speedway as you watch the tight battle between Dave Marcus and Jimmy Spencer for position. Showing 21 laps complete out of 400, which comprise the Tyson Holly Farms 400. Back with more Winston Cup racing action from North Wilkesboro after this. There.
Jeff Green sits on pit road. He slowed dramatically a couple of laps ago as he went into turn 1. They had a flat tire, so they have changed all 4 tires as the car has gotten very, very loose on Jeff Green, doing a good job getting it back in with a flat tire.
Tough break for Jeff Green after an impressive 5th place qualifying effort and only his 2nd Winston Cup start.
And Jeff Green is Michael Waltrip's spotter. And during drivers' meeting today, Michael Waltrip said to the other drivers, "Hey guys, how'd you like to be out-qualified by your spotter?"
That's a pretty good line from Michael.
Sure is.
Let's check back in again on the Jeff Green story more with John Kernan. John?
I just checked with Lee Leslie, his crew chief. He said it's much more than a flat tire. They've broken the left rear axle, and Jeff Green slowly coming down pit road. In fact, he's going to bypass his pits as they put the signboard back in, but that's the word from down here, a broken left rear axle.
I saw when he left, I saw the right rear tire spinning and the left rear and the car not going anyplace, so I realized he had a broken axle.
Here's Jeff Burton trying to move around Dave Marcus.
That's for the 8th position, makes Marcus 9th, and now Marcus gets a challenge from Jeff Gordon.
There's Kenny Wallace right behind in the Apple Ford.
We might make mention that Kyle Petty started the car number 42 today, but Kyle, as we all know, had to have relief last week at Martinsville from Todd Bodine. He had a severe bronchitis, and we are told it almost went into pneumonia. He only got a lap or two in the car yesterday as you watch the car number 7 now go past for 4th position, and that is Jeff Bodine, and he is on a tear, really making a move toward the front. But to finish up the Kyle Petty story, Kyle apparently will get out of the car very quickly, and Jimmy Hensley will climb in.
Jeff Bodine started 18th. He is now up to 4th spot after about 35 laps. So this guy is, these Hoosier tires look like they're working very well today.
Yeah, he just he pulls up on someone and he moves around them at will. Of course, Dale Earnhardt is in heavy traffic right now. He's about 4.5 seconds behind. Jeff Bodine is about 4.5 seconds behind Earnhardt. Now, folks, that's not conservative driving. Anyone that had any thoughts about Dale Earnhardt getting conservative here towards the end of the year, that ain't it.
3 abreast down the back straightaway as he goes by Phil Parsons in the 9 and the 15 car of Lake Speed. Now we're watching all the cars down the front straightaway.
Our field snapshot showing you where your favorite driver may be running today. As you saw Earnhardt, the leader, going by. Elliott's in 2nd place. Mark Martin 3rd. Jeff Bodine, who's on a move, is in 4th position. And Bobby Hamilton, after 2 great runs on short tracks at Martinsville and Richmond, now being shown in 5th spot.
And there's a guy that is on the move. He's probably, I don't really know right now, I haven't been clocking the guys, but the 7 car is probably faster than.
Oh, he definitely is gaining, Jimmy. There's no question about it. He's picking up almost a half a second a lap on Dale Earnhardt. About 6 laps ago, he was over 5 seconds behind. Now it's about 3 seconds.
A lot of speculation in the garage this morning that Jeff Bodine was going to be very, very strong here, Dad. A lot of people said, watch the 7 car.
Yeah, he was strong yesterday in practice, and I think a lot of people noticed that. And figured that he would be. Of course, he's a past winner here. He knows what it takes to get around this 5/8 mile track. And look at him, how he just flies by Mark Martin. Mark got a little high there, maybe lost traction, but boy, that car is moving on.
Yeah, that's right. He was not lapped in the car. He was passing the car for position, and he made it look awfully easy. The telemeters from inside Mark Martin's car.
As you watch Jeff Bodine just drive away from him. There's Phil Parsons in front of him, the Melling car.
That interval is really shrinking. Bodine is coming in a hurry. It was 3.8 seconds a minute ago. Let's see what the interval is now between Earnhardt and Jeff Bodine back in 3rd position. It's less than 3 seconds. In fact, it's probably less than 2.5 seconds. It's 2.4 to be exact between Earnhardt and Jeff Bodine back in 3rd spot as Earnhardt gets a challenge from Elliott.
Bill Elliott gets alongside trying to take over the lead.
Trying to put a lap on Morgan Shepherd in the sit-go forward. Morgan is currently being shown in the 30th position.
Here comes Elliott. Off the corner. Elliott will lead that lap, but still there is heavy traffic in front of the 2 cars.
John Andretti, and as you heard Ned say, Morgan Shepherd are side by side. Now they're single file right in front of this battle between, and Earnhardt motions Elliott by. You see that finger out the window?
He said, go ahead and see if you can get these guys a lap down.
But look who's caught him. Jeff Bodine is there. I'll bet you he'll mow through that traffic in a hurry, the way his car's handling. Certainly those guys trying to do everything they can to keep from going a lap down. But the way these leaders are running, they got lapped in a hurry here today. Less than 50 laps.
Jeff Bodine qualified in 18th and is alongside Earnhardt to take second place away.
Now Elliott's right in behind the car number 21. The 30th, they get the 29th place car of Morgan Shepherd as he puts Bobby Labonte a lap down. 6 races this year, Bill Elliott has led, the 5th since the mid-season.
Well, he got off to a horrible start at the beginning of the season, but you're right. The last few races, here goes Bodine on the inside for the lead.
Ooh, they get awfully close going into closer and closer. But watch him come off of this turn. Look at that car accelerate off the turn. And that's traction. It's not that much more engine than Bill Elliott had. It's just the fact that those tires, those Hoosier tires he has on, is getting the traction.
Although Danny Glad, who builds the motors for Jeff Bodine, believes that torque is critical on the short track.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he has plenty of it. No doubt about it. But that would look like 100 horsepower more. It doesn't have that much more the way that thing's coming off the corner.
And there we see Ward Burton, another car that's on the Hoosiers, going by Dave Marcus. Taking over the 10th spot. Ward Burton was the fastest second-round qualifier, started in 21st position.
In fact, his lap made him the 4th quickest car in the field.
And he, too, is on the Hoosier tires, of course.
And Mark Martin is slipping backwards as Terry Labonte, the Kellogg's car, goes by.
That would be for the 4th position. Of course, Terry Labonte, that's the same car he used to win with here in the spring in Wilkesboro.
Also the same car he dominated Richmond with. But here in the spring, Labonte's car really didn't excel until the last lap of the race. It was not that good at the beginning, so it might happen again today.
After 50 of 400 laps here in the Tyson Holly Farms 400, they are chasing Jeff Bodine. Back with more short track action after this.
If you don't replay...
To go with Greg Sachs, U.S. Air Jasper Ford, and he's had some heavy contact.
And he's also got a right front tire that's on fire. We see as he comes off the second corner, looks like something happens to the right front tire, and bam!
Yep, it looked like the tire gave away, and into the wall he went.
But, folks, no caution flag. Still no caution flag.
Still no caution flag yet. Jerry Punch with Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett. And we had to come on the air in a hurry. So we've heard of the hurry-up offense. We had the hurry-up open. But we want to thank Dale Earnhardt for directing our open and being a part of that. But he right now is in a pretty good direction as far as a record-tying 7 championship.
But right now he's not in a very good mode for winning the Tyson Holly Farm 400. He's going backwards right now.
Well, I think he's used his tires up here early. He ran awfully hard there in the early part of the race, and his tires are gone away, so he's hanging on until they get a pit stop here before long.
Look at Jeff Bodine, the cars that he has lapped and the cars he is about to lap. He's Darrell Waltrip, Harry Ginn, Ted Musgrave.
Going around Dick Trickle now are trying to.
As you ride with Ted Musgrave in the Family Channel 4, you see Jeff Bodine just saying see and pulling away. Now here's the first pit stop, and watch for a driver change. Looks like Kyle trying to stay in the car. Now Kyle only ran a couple laps yesterday. They make a chassis adjustment, and they will change all 4 tires. Jimmy Hensley is standing by. In fact, Hensley qualified the car.
Yes, he did. He's standing by. We see a chassis adjustment, the wrench back in the left rear, put in some wedge in that car.
Now, they've run 60 laps. I think we'll see others making pit stops here before too long. They were talking, Benny, 60 to 80 laps.
Exactly. So fuel today is of no concern because these cars will only run about 60 to 80 laps on the tires they have on there.
And if you're wondering why Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott and company began to drop back, well, their tires are probably gone.
Earnhardt ran very, very hard there at the beginning. He wanted to lead some laps, and he took off out there, but I think he abused his tires.
Well, what's Jeff Bodine going to do? Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Jerry, what he's going to do is continue to lead this race. I just asked the pit crew when their pit window was. They said lap 130. That's a huge surprise. But Jeff has not radioed in. They thought the car would be good, but not this good, not this early.
Wow.
Let's go to John Kernan. John, what about Dale Earnhardt? When will they come in?
Jerry, we would anticipate to see Dale Earnhardt on pit road very, very shortly. Richard Childress has said the car has gotten fairly loose, not really too bad. They'd like to have 4 tires, put a rubber in the right front, but that will only be under caution. So they'll try and tighten it up a little bit with the chassis adjustment. But we would expect him to be on pit road shortly. And it looks like Jimmy Spencer's crew is starting to swing into action. So Jimmy should be on pit road momentarily.
And there we see Jeff Bodine lapping the pole sitter, Jimmy Spencer. And immediately Spencer goes to the pits. Good strategy, and there's Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip in Pennzoil Pontiac in for 4 tires. Joe Nemechek going out of the pits. He just changed. Here is Spencer and, of course, Derek Cope in. Let's go to John Kernan, who's down in the area of Jimmy Spencer's pits.
Mike Hill and the crew wait for the arrival of Jimmy Spencer as he pulls it in, hits the mark, stops. It'll be a 4-tire change. He complained early on in the race that the car was just a little bit tight with a little bit of a push. So this time we expect him to make an air pressure adjustment, and also Mike Hill will take a roundabout out of that right rear tire. Left side tire is going on now for Spencer. As the cars go by, drops the jack. Jimmy Spencer is down and away. A pretty good pit stop.
While all of these pit stops were going on, Terry Labonte has moved up into second place behind Jeff Bodine. He's pretty far behind him, but moved around Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott's still third. And in the 4th position is the car number 8, Jeff Burton, who also has on Hoosier tires. Mark Martin has dropped to 5th. Rick Mast has moved up to 6th. Earnhardt has dropped to 7th.
Guys, those pit stops, as Earnhardt should be in the next lap or two, those pit stops came on lap 65. Now, if Bill Weber is correct, as you watch Earnhardt come down pit road, and if Bill Weber is correct and Jeff Bodine comes down here to lap 130 without making a pit stop, this could get ugly.
Oh, man, could it ever, as Earnhardt comes down pit road. He's got to stop twice to Bodine's once. John Kernan is there.
The defending champion has the very first pit stall. Once again, Dale Earnhardt complaining the car is just a bit loose. It'll be a 4-tire change. Darrell Walter, right side tires have already been on the Westernado Chevrolet. The left side's going on. Earnhardt comes around. Mike Smith with the jack under the left side. They get the tires off quickly. Off quickly. Darrell Walter is down and away. They'll make the chassis adjustment on the right rear. A line around it by 18 seconds even for Dale Earnhardt.
And Rusty Wallace is in. Well, let's see. Here he comes down pit road. Kenny Wallace is in, and so is Jeff Gordon, and Bill Weber is down in the Rusty Wallace area.
Pit stop school is in session for the Miller Genuine Draft 4. They're changing right sides. Now the left side's coming off. They'll slap them back on. Fuel for Rusty Wallace, and the 2-car down and away. 17.2 for Rusty.
Wow, what a great pit stop by Wallace.
Here's Brett Bodine, the Quaker State Ford down pit road. Now these pit stops are taking place around lap 71. This is lap 72 that Brett Bodine is in. As you see Rusty Wallace leaving. Now he was pitting way up pit road by virtue of qualifying back in 19th spot. Here is Mark Martin coming down pit road.
Ken Schrader is coming down pit road, and so is, actually Schrader's going out of pit road.
Let's go to John Kernan.
They asked Mark if he wants a drink. He says, no, I'm fine. Thank you very much. Right side tires for Mark Martin and Steve Neal and the crew complete the work on the right side. Jack comes around. They'll swing around into action on the left side as Mark Martin sits in the car waiting. The second can of gasoline going in. It just needs a very little squirt there. Lug nuts are tightened on Mark Martin's car, and he is down and away.
Mark Martin speeds back onto the racetrack. Had a little bit of contact at the end of pit road as a couple cars were trying to get in. Looks like someone may have tagged the back of the 43 car.
The 4-car, Sterling Marlin, got in the back of John Andretti as he was trying to come in the pits. As we see Bill Elliott, the Budweiser Ford, who ran so strong early on in the pits, making a tire change.
He had dropped back to 4th position. Rick Mast had passed him and moved up to 3rd.
And just a moment ago, I'm surprised that Jeff Bodine's people aren't down in the Jeff Burton pit because the Rebestos car made a pit stop. He's running the Hoosier tires, and I'm surprised that Bodine's guys didn't run down to see how the tires were doing.
There were only 4 cars that started the race today on the Hoosier tires. There were Jeff Bodine, Jeff Burton, and Ward Burton, and the car number 77 of Greg Sachs, who has already hit the wall, and he's in the garage area.
Of the cars up front on Goodyear tires, Terry Labonte is the only one that has yet to pit, and here comes Labonte now out of turn 4. He follows Dick Trickle down pit road as you watch the pass being made by Ted Musgrave on fresh tires as he goes by our leader on the Hoosier tires after 10 laps on his tires. But on pit road, the car number 5, Terry Labonte.
Let's see how fast the cars will run now with the pressure tires.
had just moved right on around Jeff Bodine. He was 2 laps down after making his pit stop.
There we see Terry Labonte finishing up on his pit stop. Right sides are on, left side's going on. John Kernan.
It's a pretty good 4-tire stop, 18.9 for Terry Labonte. No chassis adjustment. I did notice, guys, in the front grill of the car, in the grill in the upper part, it had been pushed in. Apparently some contact. We'll have to see if that comes into play. Might cause some overheating later on.
Boy, Jeff Bodine's got to make a pit stop. He's coming right now. Yeah, he couldn't afford to stay out there and run the speed he was running with those drivers with the new tires on were just eating him up. And he's pitting right in front of Bill Weber.
Here's the Exide Batteries Ford in the pit. You're right, Jen. Once the new tires go on, you simply cannot hang on your old tires. These guys wanted to stay out, but the new guys were coming too quick. 4 tires and fuel. The right side already on. Now they're changing the left. Plenty of Unical fuel. There's a little trouble with the left rear. Waiting on the right front now. Now, 18 even for Jeff Bodine.
Identical time that Dale Earnhardt's crew pitted him at 18 seconds flat as he moves back down pit road.
Or just has to creep along, what, 35 miles an hour?
35 miles per hour. And we see that Jeff Burton now goes by. He will be, Bill Elliott goes by. They will be in front of Jeff Bodine as far as position-wise on the racetrack.
Exactly.
But Bodine went 20 laps more than some of the early Goodyear cars that pitted on lap 61. Bodine's pit stop coming on lap number 81.
Well, that means that he should be able to make this race on 4 stops. Exactly. The rest of those guys have to make it on 5 stops.
And our leader is the car number 31, Ward Burton, his very first race here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Did not qualify in the spring. He started back in 21st and currently shows the way in the A.G. Dillard Hardy-sponsored Chevrolet. Back with more from North Wilkesboro Speedway right after this. Stay with us. Speedway, that is our leader right there. 32-year-old Ward Burton in the Hardy Chevrolet, and he will finally make an entry on the pit road, 35 miles an hour, as he heads down to the attention of his crew and our Bill Weber.
Burton failed to qualify for the first race here at North Wilkesboro. He was fast in his second round qualifying yesterday. He started 21st. This is a strong run for this team that has struggled. 4 tires, plenty of fuel. The jack around to the right side. The Hoosier tires are not a problem, is what the reports are down here. No excess tire wear, no blistering. 4 tires for Ward. They drop the jack and the Hardy car down and away. It's 21 flat.
Well, that's about 3 seconds longer than some of the better pit stops that we saw a little bit earlier. And he's going to go a lap down. He came in with a lap lead, or a couple of the cars had just gotten back in the lead lap, and now he's going to be a lap down. I think Ward stayed out there a little bit too long on those tires before he came in.
Here's a battle, second, third, and fourth. Bill Elliott in car number 11 currently being shown in second position. Jeff Bodine is third, behind him in Exide Batteries Ford, and back in 4th spot, left side of your screen, that would be Jeff Gordon in the DuPont Chevrolet.
And Jeff Bodine goes right by, or he doesn't go by, he pulls up alongside. Looks like making the pass is just a matter of record. Yep, Jeff Bodine will take that spot away. Now, guys, Rusty Wallace, Ned, is a lap down to Dale Earnhardt. Is he not? No, he isn't. That great pit stop, he was a lap down just a moment ago. They rechanged the thing. I thought he was a lap down, but that great pit stop has got him up in 8th spot.
Well, most of the cars were a lap down until Ward Burton hit him, but he really gained on that pit stop. Yeah, he's up there in 8th place and not too far behind Dale Earnhardt, who is running in the 7th position.
And Jeff Gordon takes the 3rd spot away. So a 17.2-second pit stop for Rusty Wallace keeps him and others from going a lap down. There's who is our leader? Well, it's another Burton brother. Ward Burton was leading a moment ago, and there is Jeff Burton from Vestas Ford Thunderbird. Remember, he had troubles at Martinsville, blew an engine in the early laps up there, trying to make up for it today, and certainly having a heck of a run. Now, he is also on the Hoosier tire.
This is from inside the Family Channel car, on top of Family Channel car, actually. And there's right behind the Family Channel car is Jeff Bodine, the Exide battery car. There we see them.
While we're watching this, Rick Mass passed Rusty Wallace, and here is Terry Labonte passing Bill Elliott. And that would be for 4th position. that picture. He is in 6th position. There's Earnhardt right behind them. He is 7th. Rick Mast has moved into 8th. He passed Dale Earnhardt a lap or 2 ago. They're not quite in this picture yet, but they're not too far away.
Take a look at our Autolite field summary and see where your favorite driver is running as Earnhardt goes by Bill Elliott.
Elliott obviously not having a good run on this set of tires. The car just falling back. He's been passed now by 3 or 4 cars. He was second a moment ago to the car number 8 of Jeff Burton, and now he's being cranked back and shown back in 7th position.
There are 19 cars in the lead lap, and Jeff Burton is right on the back bumper of Kenny Schrader, who is running 19th, about to put a lap on him.
And we see Jeff Bodine is right on the back bumper of Jeff Burton, trying to take the lead away.
Ken Schrader was not here yesterday. He had to fly to Missouri. His father passed away, and he was up there, and he'll be leaving here tonight, going back for the funeral tomorrow.
Oh, there's a battle for the lead. Bodine on the outside.
Wow.
Off turn 4. Did he do it?
He got him.
He did on the outside.
Let's check in with Bill Weber. Bill?
Well, one thing about Jeff Burton is that he tested here at North Wilkesboro. A lot of teams did that. But Jeff Burton did the Hoosier tire test. He said it's a huge advantage. Not only are they able to set up their car for the tires, but they're able to set up the tires for the car. And even though he's a rookie and admits there's a huge experience gap at a track like North Wilkesboro, he has a solution to that. The first practice at tracks where he doesn't have much experience, he falls in right behind Mark Martin or Dale Earnhardt, follows them around, tries to learn the track. All those things appear to be paying off here early on lap 101.
And evidently, Bill, he tested a pretty good tire. I would think that Jeff Bodine would agree and pat him on the back and say, Jeff Burton, you did a fine job. You came up with a great tire.
As Bodine tries to move to the outside of Ken Schrader, and Jeff Burton tries to follow him through. To Frank Schrader, who is in 18th spot now, a lap down. Average speed, we're at a record pace right now, 108.644 miles per hour. The race record, a little over 107.
And that's with a pit stop. They're averaging 108 miles an hour with the pit stop. Never see Warren Burton in the Hardy Chevrolet. He made a pit stop at one of the latest. He was the last car to leaders to pit. Now, right now, he is faster than his other cars, but he is a lap down.
Yeah, what he wants to do is try to catch. He's up behind his brother and Terry Labonte there, the 2nd and 3rd place cars. He'd like to pass them and then catch Jeff Bodine, get back in the lead lap just in case there would be a caution, and then he'd be back in it. Now, after they run for a while, if he stays green, he should be in great shape, and we should see him back up in the lead lap and maybe even passing a lot of those that are in the lead lap.
That's a shot out of Ted Musgrave's Family Channel car. Now, Ted is a lap down. He's been passed by Jeff Bodine. He is being shown back in 19th position.
Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon battling for spot.
And I'll tell you somebody else fast here today is Rick Mast. He had really come up through the pack. We mentioned that he moved up into 2nd place before they started all of these pit stops. And here he is after his pit stop. He might have lost a little bit on that pit stop, but he has passed me. He's just passed Earnhardt. Now working on Jeff Gordon.
That's for 5th position. Mark Martin is in 4th spot. Gordon in the car number 24 is 5th. And as you said, Dan, Rick Mast having a great run here early on as they go past the Kyle Petty car. By the way, we mentioned Kyle may change drivers. He won't wait till the first caution flag to make that driver change.
Another lap going on Jimmy Spencer, the pole sitter.
So now only 15 cars in the lead lap. Well, baby. Oh, what's that with Jeff Burton? Our 2nd place car is off the pace.
They went 3 wide going into turn 3 a minute ago. Looks like Jeff had to back off.
I think he had to back off. I think that was the situation. His spotter told him, said, hey, there's 2 cars under. You better back off. He might be slipping out a little bit in the turn, Spinny, but I think that was the situation. That he doesn't have a major problem. He just backed off because of that traffic. Look at Rick Mast moving around Jeff Gordon.
And there comes Burton on the inside. Jeff Burton on the inside of Jeff Gordon. And I guess you're right. It just was a matter of he got out of the groove.
He lost about 4 or 5 spots talking about Jeff Burton in the car number 8. Now he has moved back inside of Jeff Gordon as Earnhardt also tries to move beneath Gordon to take the spot away. That would be 6th position. These two cars racing for 6th. Car number 8 is 5th. In front of him, Rick Mass now being shown in the 4th spot. Here's what happened a couple laps ago between Bill Elliott and Rusty Wallace.
Rusty trying to move on the inside of Bill. You mentioned that Bill, this set of tires was not too good. Well, he used them up a little bit more right there when the back end of that Budweiser Ford broke loose.
He sure did.
Kyle Petty back in the pit. He was the first of the leaders, first of all, to come in, and here he is back in there.
Driver change. Jimmy Hensley standing there.
Kyle has been so ill. He comes down the car. Let's go to Bill Weber.
Kyle Petty is out of the car. Jimmy Hensley is in. As Dr. Bunch said earlier, Jimmy did most of the testing in this car this weekend, most of the practicing. Kyle does have bronchitis. He is extremely short of breath and has a high fever. He wanted to wait. They desperately wanted to wait until the first caution to do this, but simply Kyle cannot hang on. He is standing now. He's sitting down on the side of the toolbox. And Jimmy Hensley being strapped in. They're working on the window net now. They're putting the wheel on first, of course. They're working on that. And this seat has been adjusted for Jimmy. It's Jimmy Hensley's seat. And obviously this taking agonizingly long, trying to get Jimmy Hensley all settled. They have the steering wheel on. Now they will affix the window net. He fires the engine, and Jimmy Hensley takes off in the mellow yellow Pontiac. And folks, that took forever. It's extremely long for a pit crew that works all week and then loses valuable time.
Kyle Petty on antibiotics, has been on IV fluids, and is extremely weak. He gets out of the car, but this is the man they're chasing, Jeff Bodine. Back with more from North Wilkesboro Speedway as Jeff Bodine leads it in the early laps after this. For North Carolina, with second round of pit stops beginning here just moments ago. Jimmy Spencer in the pits for what would have been a scheduled stop about 60 laps after his initial stop on lap 61. But here's the man they're chasing, the car number 7 of Jeff Bodine. Now the car number 42, as you heard a minute ago before we went to break, Jimmy Hensley now aboard that car after the ailing Kyle Petty was forced to climb out.
And Kyle Petty, or that mellow yellow Pontiac, is 4 laps down right now. And Jeff Bodine just lapped the 14th place car, Sterling Marlin, in Kodak Film Chevrolet. And here's Jimmy Spencer with those new tires. Of course, they changed tires to make the driver change. And he is faster than Jeff Bodine, so now he is 3 laps behind.
Jimmy Hensley, obviously one of those drivers who doesn't have a ride as yet for next year. A lot of decisions to be made. We'll tell you more about that a little later on as we see Michael Waltrip, another one of the cars, making an entry on the pit road.
This is how the cars were running before the pit stop started. Michael Waltrip is in the pits right now, watches the car goes by.
He was being shown in 19th spot, a lap down.
And you can see your favorite driver come by as we station the camera there on the start-finish line coming off the turn 4. Now, we've already seen some pit stops, and we'll see others coming up here before too long.
Yes, we're at lap 125 as Jeff Bodine goes by, so we will be seeing pit stops pretty soon.
And baby, look here, Bill Elliott about to go a lap down. And he was so strong in the early part of this race, but now the 12th place car, Bill Elliott, has gone a lap down.
Now he pitted on lap 68, as did Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, and Darrell Waltrip. And now Elliott slowly comes down pit road. He was slowing to make his pit stop, so he pitted on 68. Here it is on 126, and he heads down to Mike Beam and company. We'll see if they make a chassis adjustment. So far, they're just going to change right side tires.
Henry Benfield filling the thing up with gasoline. Yes, they are making a chassis adjustment. Killing a little bit of wedge in the car.
Said the car was a little bit tight. Shifted a little weight from that left rear to the right side. Well, that car will feel so good when he goes back out there with those new tires on it.
Yeah.
And here is Jeff Bodine putting a lap on Kenny Wallace and the Robert Yates Haviland Ford. Kenny is running in the 11th position.
Ever see the 31 car, Ward Burton? He is actually gaining on the leader, Jeff Bodine, but Ward Burton is a lap down. He stopped about 15, 20 laps later than Bodine did, so that's one reason his tires are a little bit better.
The fellows, Bill Elliott went 74 laps on his first set of tires, only 52 laps on this second set of tires. And, why would that be? I don't know if it would be because it's just a harder running, or
I would guess that the second set of tires made the car push too bad. So he had to get those things off because he was losing time. Had to come in, adjust the chassis, and change tires.
Good point.
Joe Nemechek on and off pit road, exiting down on the Meineke Muffler Chevrolet. And here is Darrell Waltrip in the pits. Let's go to John Kernan.
It'll be a 4-tire change for Darrell Waltrip to take a round of bite out of the right rear. The right side tire's already on, left side's going on as Darrell revs the engine, waiting for the jack to drop, blood pressure tight. Darrell is down and away, a pretty good pit stop.
Darrell was running in 19th position before he came into the pits.
There's Ricky Rudd's Tide Chevrolet, the same car used to win with up in New Hampshire early in the year. As the crew now going to work, Bill Engel and company, changing right and left side tires. As yet, they have not made a chassis adjustment.
Ricky was one of 10 drivers that were on the lead lap. He was in 10th, Jerry, before he came into the pit.
Once again, our leader is Jeff Bodine. He is shown as the leader. Terry Labonte in second position. Good run for Rick Mast. He's in third spot as Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon peel off, and they head down pit road. Rudd is leaving. Here's Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon at 35 miles per hour. Let's go to John Kernan.
Once again, 35 miles an hour on pit road. Dale Earnhardt coming down. He'll swing it in. They'll take on 4 tires. Car still just a little bit loose. Well, they'll make a chassis adjustment also. If you can see from your side on the right side, they were going to make the track bar adjusted down 2 turns. They've got the different type of track bar than something doesn't need to use. They can actually make an adjustment with a wrench on it, moving it up and down. Left side tires going on. 16.7 seconds. Let's go to Bill Weber and Rusty's pit.
Rusty Wallace in for 4 tires on Midnight Rider, the same car he won with last week. It's another quick stop. They work on the left rear. The fuel is in. Rusty's gone.
Wayne Earnhardt pit stop, and there is Rusty Wallace exiting the pits as right along beside Ted Musgrave.
Dale Earnhardt went by as Rusty was exiting the pit. There was Rick Mast. Hutch Strickland in the Smoking Joe car.
Making a great run for Rick Mast. It's his 10th start here at the Wilkesboro Speedway. He's been finishing 8th, coming back in this race a year ago, October of 1993.
Mark Martin heads down pit road, the Valvoline car. John Kernan is watching him come down pit road, John.
Saw the pit stops that Dale Earnhardt's crew put on as Mark comes down pit road. They're just a couple of stalls up. They're making an air pressure adjustment on the rear tires. It'll also be a 4-tire change. Mark has been fairly happy with the car, although it does seem to drop off considerably the more laps they run. Right side tires already on. They come around, the Jackman stumbles momentarily, but it doesn't slow him down but maybe a half a second. Steve Neal runs to blood up tight on that left front tire. A little over 18 seconds. Mark Martin leads the pit.
Goes by as he comes off pit road, accelerates up to top speed. Now he drops the car in the 4th gear and takes off after Jimmy Spencer.
Kenny Schrader going out of the pits. Dave Marcus coming into the pits as we ride with Mark Martin there.
Let's see the 29 car. Steve Grissom had Channel Lock sponsorship here at North Wilkesboro this weekend. And there's old Dave Marcus, who qualified so well.
Charlie Gordon Restaurant's car. He was running 21st when he came in. A couple of laps down. And Terry Labonte is in the Kellogg Cornflake car. He was running in 2nd place. John, he's headed towards you.
This is the same car they won with earlier this year as Dave Marcus leads. Terry Labonte will pull in. Gary Dehart making sure they get all the rubber that's built up on the front grille. Gary carries the right front tire over. Now they'll wait as the jack swings around. Left sides are ready to come off as they put the... Terry was just a little almost too close to the wall. They almost had a problem with the jack handle being able to jack the car up in the air. The Labonte waiting, a slight problem with the right rear. 19.6 seconds.
And here's Jeff Burton also in the pits as they make a chassis adjustment here on the left side. Bill Weber.
Gary, it'll be 4 Hoosier tires for the Ray Bestis Ford and the rookie points leader, Jeff Burton. Remember, he did tire test here. He is happy with the way his car is handling. They dump in the fuel, working on the left side tires. The jack is down, and Jeff Burton is away. The 7th crew is now waiting for Jeff Bodine.
Now, Jeff Bodine pitted originally, and the only pit stop came on lap number 81. We are now working lap 145. The guys be doubled, and he'd be coming in on what, 162.
I wasn't really paying attention. I was watching Jeff Bodine as he goes around the racetrack, and I think he'll stay out there until that group of cars behind him comes in. I mean, he has several fast cars that's about a straightaway behind him. They're gaining on him, but he'll stay out there as long as he has good, clean racetrack, which he has right now.
And we are told that you're exactly right, Benny Parsons. He has absolutely no intentions of pitting in the next few laps, so while we wait on his green flag stop, we'll take a quick break here from North Wilkesboro Speedway. The second place car, Rick Mast, makes an entry on the pit road, but our leader, Jeff Bodine, is yet to pit. Back with more short track action right after this. Tyson Holly Farms 400. And when we left, this is our leader, Jeff Bodine, and he is still our leader. But unfortunately, he decided at the last minute to make a pit stop. He pitted for 4 fresh Hoosier tires. It made no chassis adjustment, and he is back on the racetrack as the leader. Now, he was thinking about staying out for about 20 more laps, but decided to opt to come on in and make his pit stop.
Well, he has such a huge lead. His second-place car, Rick Mast and Terry Labonte had stopped. And right now, Dale Earnhardt is the second-place car to Jeff Bodine.
That great pit stop that Richard Childers and the crew turned in put Earnhardt up there in that position. Plus, he stopped a number of laps ago, so he has had the advantage of running perhaps a second lap faster than Bodine with those new tires on. Now there are 12 cars back in the lead lap. You see Jeff Bodine there, and we'll show you how far Dale Earnhardt is behind.
Well, now, folks, I didn't mean he was right behind him when I said he was in second.
There's the Goodrich Chevrolet, Dale Earnhardt. Now, the third place car is the car number 5. As you see, Earnhardt led 38 laps. Currently in second spot, where there is Terry Labonte, the Kellogg Chevrolet. He is in third position. And I think Rusty Wallace will be shown now after this pit stop in the 4th spot. Labonte is yet to lead today.
And we can see how well Dale Earnhardt is running today, because remember, he and Rusty Wallace came out of the pits almost together. And he has driven off and has about a straightaway lead on Earnhardt. There's Rusty Wallace.
He's in 4th position. And now moving back into 5th spot, Rusty has yet to lead today either. That means he has not yet received those 5 bonus points for leading a lap.
Which has become very important, especially down towards the end of the year.
As a matter of fact, he's almost a complete straightaway behind Earnhardt is Rusty Wallace. And there's Rick Mast. He's our 5th place car as he goes by Joe Nemechek.
And we told you as we went to commercial a minute ago, Mast was coming down pit road. He made a pit stop. Changed 4 tires about 2 laps later, was when Jeff Bodine came in while we were in break. So now Mast now being shown back into 5th position. Good run for Rick Mast.
And in 6th place is Jeff Gordon in the DuPont Chevrolet, car number 24.
Next car, the 7th place car, is
Mark Martin.
Mark Martin, there he is, the Valvoline Ford. He goes up on late speed.
Mark is about 2/3 of a lap behind Jeff Bodine.
And behind him would be Bill Elliott.
You see now, we keep talking about the importance of keeping fresh tires on the car. We saw Bill Elliott go a lap down to the leader, Jeff Bodine. He then made a pit stop, put on 4 tires. Well, when he went back on the racetrack, he was running so much faster than Jeff Bodine with his used tires. He now is back in the lead lap.
Good point, Benny. He's back being shown in 8th position. And in 9th spot would be, we're looking for the car number 8. There he is, Jeff Burton.
Rebestis Brakes cars. And this week, Jeff Burton announced an associate sponsor for 1995. Oh, you're going to ask me who?
Trucking company.
Burlington Motor Carriers out of Indiana.
Yeah.
Thought you guys would never ask.
Good for Jeff Burton.
And next would be Brett Bodine in the Quaker State Ford number 26. He is being shown in the 10th position. And the 28 car is 11th. That's the last car on the lead lap. Kenny Wallace in the Robert Yates Evelyn Ford.
A lot of speculation as to these two drivers here. You know, where is Brett Bodine going to go? And what about the car number 28? Who will drive that car until Ernie Irvin gets back?
Well, you know, Ernie fully intends to be back by the Daytona 500. But if he shouldn't be, if he gets into May or sometime, who would drive it in those 10 or 12 races? Boy, who knows? Where did Harry Gant come from? Look at he must have stopped and changed 4 tires. Look at him blow by these guys.
Yeah, he stopped about the time Jeff Bodine stopped. Harry is being shown a lap down in the 18th position. By the way, while we're talking about Harry Gant, the Harry Gant Day was scheduled for tomorrow. It has been postponed. The parade part is still going to do the Community Appreciation Luncheon tomorrow, but the parade and the other things have been canceled because of the prediction of heavy rain in this area. They will do it sometime later. The Chamber of Commerce of Alexander County is doing this, and they'll announce when it will be done later, Benny, so you and I guess won't be going to Alexander Taylorsville tomorrow to honor Harry Gant.
I guess not, as Kenny Wallace goes by Bodine and takes that spot away.
That's 10th position for Kenny Wallace. Puts Brett Bodine back in 11th. And here's the car number 40 that's being shown now 1 lap down in 12th position.
Bobby Hamilton, the Kendall Oil Pontiac. And Sterling Marlin, the Kodak Film Chevrolet, is right behind the 40 car.
He's 13th position. And then Ricky Rudd in the Tide Ford would be the next car that's 1 lap down. He's in 14th position.
And behind Rudd, Benny, would be the 16 car of Ted Musgrave, our last week's pole sitter at Martinsville, Virginia. And here's a battle back up front. The car number 1 and the car number 2, Mass trying to battle Rusty Wallace, and will take the spot away. That is 4th position for Rick Mass.
They've been a little bit off sequence as far as the others. They've always been the first one to come in, and they changed drivers the last time around. Chassis adjustment going on that car.
So by virtue of the sequence, he is the first car to come in, as you said, Ned. So we would expect scheduled pit stops from some of the cars who pitted early with the Goodyear tires within about 7 or 8, maybe 9 laps. So we'll take a quick break and come back and catch those pit stops. More from North Wilkesboro Speedway after this.
This is about
racetrack. Right now, 35 cars on the racetrack after 36 has started. Now, here is a good race, a battle for second spot.
Terry Labonte in car number 5 has caught Dale Earnhardt in heavy traffic. And Bill Elliott brings the Budweiser Ford down pit road. As we mentioned, he just went a lap down a moment ago. That's exactly what he did before. Once he went a lap down, he came right into the pits.
See Darrell Andrews putting up 1 round to bite in that car.
And as Benny said a little bit ago, keeping fresh tires very critical. That's how Elliott was able to get out from being a lap down earlier. They put now left side tires. 18.8. Here's a battle for position. Jeff Burton goes by the car number 24 of Jeff Gordon, and that is for the 7th position.
So Jeff Gordon drops back to 8th. He is the last car on the lead lap.
Now, Jeff Bodine is still being shown as the leader. He is about a half a lap in front of the 2nd and 3rd place car. There is Bodine's Exide Battery Sport Thunderbird here at lap 179. Now, he pitted on lap 81 originally, came in about 70 laps later as Darrell Waltrip comes down pit road. And here's the car number 2 and the car number 17 in the pits. Let's go to the pits. John Kernan.
Darrell Waltrip comes to a stop. They will change all 4 tires, put the fuel in, but they are coming nowhere near running out of fuel today. Right side's already on. Left side, the jack underneath there, and the car goes up. They'll put the tires in now. Rusty Wallace, left side tires. He is down the way, heading down pit road. Darrell Waltrip, as the jack drops, he will take off.
Rusty Wallace exiting the pits. Now the big question is, what about the 7 car? What will he do as far as how long will he stay out as far as making his next pit stop with Jeff Bodine?
And there was Terry Labonte takes over the second spot from Dale Earnhardt. So Labonte looks like his car is pretty strong.
Yeah, his car is very strong. He won here in the spring. Also won at Richmond, Virginia on a track very similar to this.
Somebody hit the back of Dale Earnhardt's car. We see the little strip, the plastic strip in the back of the car waving at us as it goes by. Hi there.
Not going to hurt anything as far as handling or anything like that's concerned.
You watch Earnhardt go by, we may mention that he did make a slight track bar adjustment on his previous pit stop, and he's had a little bit of contact with right in front of the left rear tire. There's a little bit of a tire mark there.
I tell you what, there's 35 cars around this 5/8 mile Speedway. I cannot tell you how impressed I am that these guys have run 184 laps and ain't hit somebody yet.
Oh, you're going to jinx them, BP.
Well, you're right. It was in the pits in the tied Ford, and Jeff Gordon just went a lap down to Jeff Bodine.
Now, why did Rusty Wallace come in the pits earlier than expected, Bill Weber?
Well, Barry, they came in because Rusty had a flat right front. So they made 4 changes, added the fuel, sent him back out. But a flat right front. Todd Parrott works on the tires down here behind pit road, but that's why Rusty dove in then.
Well, there we see Darrell Waldrop, who stopped and changed tires. He has the fresh tires on. Our leader, Jeff Bodine, will not be able to pass Darrell Waldrop.
In fact, Darrell just passed him. Yes, but Darrell is 3 laps down. He's being shown in the 24th position at the moment.
Winningest active driver at this racetrack on DW. Won 6 races and 7 starts here back from 81 to 84. Driver for Junior Johnson. He moves in now on the Valvoline Ford of Mark Martin, who is currently being shown in 6th position.
And since Jeff Gordon got a lap down, he decided he'd come in the pits. Martin. There he is, Jeff Gordon, the DuPont car.
Ray Evernham and Company will change 4 tires, clean the windshield. As yet, they have not made an adjustment on the chassis.
And now Mark Martin. He went a lap down to Jeff Bodine. He's coming into the pits.
There we see put 1 round of wedge in that 24 car as the left side is up and Mark is coming down towards his pits.
Now that's the clock on Gordon, 17.7 seconds. Boy, what a heartbreaker last week at Martinsville with that late pit stop. Let's go to John Curtin in the Mark Martin pit.
Originally, they wanted to go to lap 200, but as soon as they went a lap down, they said, Martin, pit next time by. The car has just been too tight, been that way all afternoon. They will try something in adjusting the air pressure this time to try and loosen that car up. Left side tires going on, but that's tight. Drop the jack. Mark is down and away, 18.2 seconds.
Sterling Marlin is in at the Kodak Film Chevrolet. Sterling being shown into 8th position before he came in. He was a lap down. Bill Parsons coming in just off the turn 4. Bill almost has to back into his pit.
Well, that's tough for him to try to get in the pit. He had a problem a little bit ago trying to get in. He almost got to jump in the brakes and back up. And you watch the Sterling Marlin car going down to Tony Glover and Company have serviced the Kodak Film Chevrolet. Jeff Bodine continues to lead here as we approach the halfway mark of this Tyson Holly Farms 400.
There's Phil Parsons. See, you had to come in sideways, and now they're pushing the Melling Ford off. Apparently it died, but he had to make a square turn to get into his pit. He couldn't get in there straight. And as Jerry said a moment ago, he had to come in and back up into his pit.
I've never seen someone have to parallel park in a Winston Cup pit stop, but that's what basically he had to do a moment ago, was getting in at the end of pit road. As the Melling engine parts Ford heads back down.
Hutch Strickland is in the Smoke and Joe Ford for pit stop. He goes back out. There's Strickland. He won't be driving that car next year. Already been announced that he will be moving on. Let's go to the pits and Bill Weber.
Another big story today is tires. This right here is the right front tire they just took off Rusty Wallace's Miller Genuine Draft Ford. The tire is fine, but Rusty thought it was going flat. That's why he came into the pit. Similar situation to last week, only this week it was not flat. Rusty thought the tire was going down, came into the pits, they changed 4, sent him back out. Dropped 1 pound of air pressure in all 4 tires.
How about that? The right front tire is sliding across the racetrack so bad that Rusty thought the tire was flat. In other words, it had so much push that he thought the tire was flat. And there goes Rick Mast by Earnhardt for third spot. We're trying to go by. Yes, he made it. And here's Jeff Gordon with those 4 fresh tires. He'll just go by both of them.
And Brett Bodine is in the pits in the Quaker State Ford, getting the chassis adjustment and 4 fresh tires. Ted Musgrave is in a little farther up pit road.
There's Bodine leaving, former winner here, won this race back in 1990. And there's Ted Musgrave as you watch from the camera on top of his family channel Ford, headed back down at 35 miles per hour. Kenny Wallace comes down pit road for his scheduled stop, subbing for Ernie Irvin.
Kenny was in 6th place, 1 lap down before he entered the pits.
And Ernie Irvin, we see the car come sliding to a stop. Ernie Irvin went home Friday.
We had a chance to talk to Ernie this morning on the phone. He sounded great, folks. We had a chance to talk to him last week on our broadcast. Ernie is home watching today and sounded just super.
I mean, folks, he went home for good. He went home. Yeah, home. Home
with Kim and Jordan and the family.
Yes.
Okay, the 3-car and 5-car in the pits as Kenny Wallace goes out. Earnhardt coming down pit road, and the 5-car of Terry Labonte is in. John Kernan's down in that area.
They go to work on the right side for Terry Labonte as Dale Earnhardt comes by and also pits on the very first pit stall. Right side tires going on Earnhardt. They tighten the front nuts on the right side, swing around to the left side. Car going up the air, jack already down on the right side. David Smith comes around, puts the jack under the left side. Chocolate Myers, mechanic gas. Terry Labonte is down and away after a 4-tire change. No adjustment, and Dale Earnhardt is also down away. 16.9 seconds for Dale Earnhardt, the second stop in under 17 seconds.
Boy, he is having a great pit stop. We just passed the halfway mark as the car number 8, the Ray Bestis Ford of Jeff Burton, comes down pit road. Jeff had moved up into the 3rd place, and he's in the Bill Weber area.
This is Jeff Burton once again in the Ray Bestis Ford. This will be a 4-tire change. He's having a great run, and the Hoosier tires obviously holding up, and this is one man they have to thank for it because he did the tire test up here. Little trouble getting the right rear off, but they got it on now. Having trouble with the jack. They can't get the right rear tire on. They finally snapped it on, tightened the lugs, agonizingly long. Jeff Burton's away 25.4 seconds. That hurts all day long.
Yeah, it really does, Bill. He was almost a lap down before he came in, and that is really going to hurt him. He's 2 laps down right now.
Almost 3 laps down as we see Jeff Bodine, the leader of the race, right behind him. But Bodine, the good part is that Bodine will not be able to catch him to put him that 3rd lap down.
Yeah, because with those new tires, Burton should be able to pull on the way.
Ken Schrader is in the pits. Jimmy Spencer just came back down pit road. That's an unscheduled stop for Spencer. He pitted just about 30 laps ago, so he comes back in way early. He is back in the pits as you're watching Jeff Bodine from the vantage point of Rusty Wallace, riding along with Rusty.
And Rusty Wallace is in 4th place, but he's 2 laps down. After he made that pit stop, he is in 4th place, trying to get around Jeff Bodine to make it just, and he moves on the inside here right now. They're saying about 10 laps until Jeff Bodine will be coming into the pits. Now Rusty is only 1 lap in the distance behind him.
Well, we'll tell you it's 10 laps till his pit stop. Jeff Bodine's the only one that knows when he's going to pit, so we'll hope to take a quick break and come back and catch our leader's pit stop in just a moment. Ford, and it has been his race to date, 212 laps in the books, and Bodine looks like he may have the car to beat, or definitely, I should say may, he definitely has the car to beat.
Yeah, I tell you what, they're going to have to pack their lunch. They're going to beat this 7-car today. Started 18th and didn't take him long to get to the front.
Well, here's the car number 28 zipping by the car number 2 of Rusty Wallace. That's Kenny Wallace. And look on the back of that Haviland car. It says, "Get well, Ernie." Well, why don't we give him a personal get well? Let's we're being joined right now by Ernie Irvin from his home in Concord. Ernie, partner, we loved hearing from you last week, but it was great news to hear that you have finally gone home.
Yeah, it's definitely great. You know, I got to go home about 3 days early, and things are going really good for us.
What do you think of the race, Ernie?
Well, it's kind of stunk up right now.
It is stunk up, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. I kind of stunk that race up last time there, but didn't win it, but I had a good run.
You did have a great run. And there you see the 28 car. How's it feel watching that 28 go around the racetrack? Pretty tough, ain't it, bud?
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
But, you know, Kenny's doing a good job, and, you know, those guys are great racers, and, you know, they need to have that. You know, they're gonna go on to maybe win them a race this year, and Kenny's gonna do it.
Here's a battle between the 6 car and the 1 car for 5th position as Rick Mass goes by and takes the 5th spot away from Mark Martin back in 6th position.
Ernie, do you still go back in for some therapy?
Yeah, I'll go back in one day next week, and then I'll go back in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for therapy. So, you know, it's not too bad, and then I'll do a workout program 5 days a week at a local gym here in Concord.
You are pretty weak, aren't you, Ernie?
Yeah, you know, I've never been this weak before. I don't even think when I was born this week.
Ernie, now that you've had a chance to get home, are you aware of the outpouring of emotion? How many millions of people from all different walks of life around the country were pulling for you?
I tell you, you know, it's just been, it's phenomenal to know everything and to just, you know, I went through the fan club and to see the stuff and go through my bush shop and to see all the stuff and everybody that talks to me just keeps telling me everywhere they go, they keep trying to ask about how I'm doing. So, you know, it's been a great thing that's happened to me as far as knowing how good the fans are and what Winston Cup racing is all like.
You mentioned the Busch car, going over to the Busch shop. You're going to be a car owner next week and run your Busch car.
Yeah, we got another race we have to run for Mac Tools, and Todd Bodine's going to drive the car there, and looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to sitting out, but I'm looking forward to getting that race in.
Ernie, while you were in the hospital, Mark Martin drove your Busch car at Bristol, Tennessee. He said, no wonder Ernie couldn't beat me this year. This car is terrible.
Yeah, well, that was a different type of car than Mark is normally running, so I think it would have been better if I could have been there and helped him. But you know, Mark's been a great friend, and he calls 2 or 3 times a week, and we had a pretty good conversation last night about his chassis here today, and evidently I didn't hit him on the right thing.
Well, he's not bad, but he's not the best either.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit. But, Ernie, you know, that's one good thing about this sport as you watch Dale Earnhardt now is this car moving pretty well, passing Lake Speed. Although you guys are competitors every Sunday, there is a tremendously close relationship between all the drivers, among the drivers.
There is. You know, I don't think there's been somebody that hasn't called from everything in Winston Cup racing. And, you know, whether it's a crew chief or continuing on about all the guys. It's been everything, you know. I mean, every phone call and everybody's wishing I'd be able to get back. And I'm really looking forward to making a showing there in Charlotte. You know, getting to see all my friends.
Well, Ernie, I'll see you over there this week. How's that, bud?
Okay, I'll be there on Wednesday.
We look forward to that.
I'll be there too, bud. We'll see you then.
Give our best to Kim and Jordan and the family. We all wish you a speedy recovery, big guy.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Godspeed.
Okay, here Jeff Bodine is putting a lap on Jeff Burton. Burton is in 9th position at the moment.
Let's check in with Bill Weber on the Jeff Bodine situation. Bill?
Jerry, this is a set of 4 Hoosier tires that just came off of the Excise Battery Ford. They're perfect. In fact, Ernie said they were stinking up the show. Well, I got bad news for you. This team says these tires are getting better as the race goes along. So as we approach halfway, Jeff Bodine's car and his tires are getting stronger. Same for the A car, although they did have the hint of a blister on the right rear under last set. The team says it's nothing to worry about, so the Hoosier cars should be strong as the race goes along. Obviously, the cool conditions aren't hurting them here today.
Well, Bill, it's nothing to worry about if you're Jeff Bodine, but for everybody else out there, it's a lot to worry about as you watch Bill Elliott come back in again for a scheduled pit stop as they put 4 Goodyear Eagle radials on that Budweiser Ford Thunderbird. And here is 2 and 3. That's the points battle for 4th position, and Earnhardt third position. Thank you, and Earnhardt will take this spot away.
Well, you're right. One of them, Rusty Walters, is now 4th.
Okay. So while the field is stabilized a little bit, still chasing that car number 7. We'll take a break from North Wilkesboro Speedway. Back with more of the Holly Farms 400 in a moment. Once again, no surprise, Jeff Bodine is our leader.
And Mark Martin, being shown in 6th, just went a lap down to the leader. So now there are just 5 cars on the lead lap.
Man.
And look at those other cars. They're running good back there, but they're 3 and 4 laps down. How about the pole sitter?
Pole sitter Jimmy Spencer, 5 laps down. The McDonald's car. Jeff Bodine has just been dominating here this afternoon. Of course, he did what, a couple years ago?
He did this race in 1992. He won in Bud Moore's car, and that was a rain-out deal. Ran it on Monday, and no cautions that day. We haven't had a caution so far today.
And Rusty Wallace. And there comes their leader, Jeff Bodine. Out of turn 4, there's the Exide batteries. Now, Bodine wins this race. You have to give an assist to Jeff Burton, who did the tire testing here, as you've already heard a couple of times, as Ricky Rudd making his pit stop in the Tide Ford.
We'll see him making a chassis adjustment. Took one round of wedge out of the car. So the car is pushing just a little bit, the time ride.
Ricky was running in 13th position, 2 laps down.
Might make mention there are some cars that you haven't heard us talk about today. 6 cars did not make the field, as you see the laps on the green, which means we have not had the first caution lap as of yet. Last time that car, that driver, we should say, won here this race 2 years ago. The entire 400 laps caution-free on a Monday following a rain on Sunday afternoon. Here's the car number 2, Rusty Wallace, Miller Genuine Draft Ford down pit road. And Bill Weber is there.
Well, this is not a happy bunch of guys. Rusty was running 5th, but he's going to fall off the lead lap now. He needs to average 44 points per race to gain on Dale Earnhardt. That's not going to happen today, at least not in this race. Another quick stop. They haven't lost their concentration. Work with your tire and roll has the mule in Rusty's away. 15.7.
Whoa, baby! That is unbelievable. 15.7. Guys, my hat is off to you.
What a pit stop. Now, they did it back in the spring. They had a 15.75 last spring, which set the record for pit stops. They may have just broken their own record.
Man, oh man, these guys are unbelievable.
And what Bill Weber was talking about is how much Rusty has to be able to gain to be able to win a championship. There it is, 44 points per race.
Dale Earnhardt needs to finish 8th or better, and today Earnhardt is actually ahead of Rusty Wallace in the running order, so that would really increase greatly after this race.
Yeah, because he said 8th or better in each race. That is if Rusty Wallace wins it.
Yeah, at least every lap, at least the most laps, we should say. There's Earnhardt in the car number 3. He's being shown in 3rd spot. Right behind him, Rick Mast in 4th position. And I think those are the only 4 cars on the lead lap.
That is correct, Jerry.
Now, last 5 races, take a look. Now, this may surprise you a little bit, but we're going to explain what this means. The points, actually, even though Wallace has won 3 races, Earnhardt has gained 4 more points than Rusty Wallace. And the reason is that 7th place finish Rusty had at Darlington.
And the 4th place finish he had in Richmond, Virginia, because Earnhardt has not been out of the top 3 in the last 5 races.
Hey, 4th and 7th, those are not bad finishes.
I tell you, if you lose points with top 5 finishes, that tells you how tough the Winston Cup point chase is.
Well, it tells you also how consistent Earnhardt has been during all that time.
Exactly. That guy is one tough customer. Didn't they have a saying like that one time? One of his sponsors, I think, said
Wrangler.
Exactly.
When Wrangler was sponsoring him. Here's Mark Martin coming in. Mark is being shown in 6th position, a lap down, and he's heading right down in towards turn 1, where the far end of the pits, and John Kernan is down in that area.
Mark Martin, who was running in 6th place, a lap down, will come in for a 4-tire change. Remember, the car had been tight all day. Well, apparently the last stop when they made the air pressure adjustment, they went a little bit too far. The car has been very, very loose. So this time, instead of making the chassis adjustment once again, they will try to adjust the air pressure. Left side tires going on lunge tight. Jack Clark, Mark Martin is down and away.
We'll see Martin going back out, and there goes the 40 car, and right behind him will be the leader, Jeff Bodine. So he'll come on the racetrack directly in front of the leader and should be able to maintain his position in front of the leader.
He's almost 3 laps down. But as you say, he came out in front of Jeff Bodine with his new tires. He should be okay. Kenny Wallace coming in the Haviland Ford.
He's in 7th position, being shown a lap down, but he comes down to Larry McReynolds and company. And there's Larry going to make a major, what, about a half a round?
Half a round. That's not very major. And he just about spun out a couple of laps ago. He made contact with Ward Burton coming off turn 4. did Kenny Wallace and got the car sideways. Did a great job, saved it, but they decided then he better come in and get some fresh tires.
Joey Russell, left front tire on. Good pit stop, 17.3 seconds, but that's good. But compared to 15.7, that's incredible.
It's a terrific pit stop, but you're right, compared to 15.7.
Kenny Wallace back on the racetrack. Our leader continues to be that car to the right of your screen, Jeff Bodine.
Jeff Bodine just put another lap on Morgan Shepherd in the sit-go forward. Morgan is having a tough day here today. He's 5 laps down in 26th position.
You know, last week in Martinsville, a lot of the drivers were fatigued during the race and even after the race. Bill Elliott, I know, had to have some fluids after the race. And you wonder, well, here they're running caution-free. There's not been a caution flag. Would fatigue be a factor? Not really. Not at this racetrack. And it's very cool today.
Here's Earnhardt coming into the pits.
His scheduled pit stop, 35 miles an hour. He was running in 4th position. Last car on the lead lap, and John Kernan, he's headed toward you.
Jerry, they would have liked to have stayed out a few more laps, but Dale has been talking with Richard Childress and Andy Peasley over the last 10 laps about this set of tires. Dale said they are very, very loose, and there's something definitely wrong with that set of tires. So they'll put on 4 fresh tires, trying to tighten it up with air pressure adjustment as the Hunt sides are now going on. Also, Jimmy Spencer's crew getting ready for him to come on to pit road. But Earnhardt winding now in finally 0.8 seconds.
As Earnhardt leaves, the car number 5 comes down pit road, and that is Terry Labonte. He was running in 2nd position. And he heads back towards you, John Kernan.
Stereo radioed in just a lap ago, told Gary Dehart the right rear tire is worn out. I've got to come in for fresh rubber. Right side's going on. Out the one that's tight, the jack drops. He'll come around to the left side as Terry Labonte sits in the car waiting. Left front going on. Rick Masters on pit road. Let's look at Bill Weber.
Rick Masters third on the racetrack, and now he's on pit road for 4 Goodyear tires and fuel. He's having one of his best runs this season, hanging on to the lead lap. Not many guys able to do that today. Left rear, left front, Rick's away.
Good pit stop by Kevin Hamlin and the crew.
Good pit stop by the Richard Jackson crew down there, Kevin Hamlin. And here's the car number 24 coming down pit road. He is being shown in 6th position.
He's leaving the pits. He just made his pit stop as Earnhardt goes by.
Rusty Wallace trying to get a lap back with those fresh tires. What a difference a fresh rubber makes as he goes by our leader, Jeff Bodine.
Yeah, once again, now Rusty's being shown in 5th place, but he was 2 laps down before he made that pass. So now he would be 1 lap down and the distance. Of course, Jeff Bodine will have a pit stop coming up after a while.
See, one reason that Dale Earnhardt made a pit stop just a moment ago, number one, the tires might have been worn out, but the biggest reason was because Rusty Wallace pitted. Now, all of a sudden, he realized he can't beat the 7 car, so he's got to start racing the 2 car.
He looks at the big picture. About 4 races left to that record-tying 7th Winston Cup championship.
Now here's Ward Burton going a lap down in the Hardy Chevrolet. Ward is in 3rd place. But that should put him... Well, Jeff Bodine's coming in.
We got a glimpse a minute ago, Ned, of Danny Glad and the crew on the wall waiting for Jeff Bodine. So Bodine has made the call, and Bill Weber is standing in his pits. Bill?
Well, the object this team wants to do is they want to lap the field, and they're doing a heck of a job so far. They chased the car all weekend, got it right in final practice. They were happy with how they had it set up for the race, and so far, perfect execution on the track and off. 4 tires, the left front, left rear on, waiting to drop the track, and away it goes.
16.9.
Great pit stop, and here comes Jeff Burton. He would have taken over the lead, but he's right back in front of you, Bill.
It'll be 4 Hoosier tires for Jeff Burton. He's another guy trying to hang on to Jeff Bodine's tail. Right side around, Jack around to the left side. We'll put on the left rear and the left front. Fuel going in. They're waiting on the tires. Jeff Burton down in the way in the Ray-Vestas Ford.
And you can see his brother, Ward Burton, is in up there in the Hardy Chevrolet. He came in just a lap after Jeff came in. He was running in 3rd place when he came in.
Brett Bodine finishes his pit stop at Quaker State Ford. He leaves.
Now, Jeff Bodine is still going to be in the lead. He had such a big lead when everybody else started pitting. Well, he was able to get his service. Right now, there being 7 cars shown on the lead lap. Mark Martin is in the 7th position.
And there's Jeff Bodine. And our second place car would be Rusty Wallace. And there is Rusty just crossing the start-finish line about 3.5 to 4 seconds back behind Jeff Bodine. Well, pit stops have taken place. We'll come back with more exciting short track action right after this. Stay with us.
Fans, the 94 racing season is almost over, but it's not too late to order your personal copy of the NASCAR Winston Cup Yearbook. Just like last year's book, you'll love this bonded leather coffee table collector's edition. It features great color photography of the entire season. There's a special section dedicated to the inaugural Brickyard 400, even a special tribute to the late Neil Bonnet. Will Dale Earnhardt win his 7th championship? Can Rusty Wallace or Mark Martin stop the man in black? Either way, you'll own the only permanent record of this thrilling season. Every edition of the NASCAR Winston Cup Yearbook has sold out, so hurry, only a limited number are available to the public, and at just $34.95, they'll sell out fast. Give the race fan the gift that lasts a lifetime. Order your copy of the NASCAR Yearbook today.
Call 1-800-234-WCUP or send check or money order to this address to reserve your copy. Don't forget to ask the operator about other special discounts available for NASCAR Yearbook buyers. Christmas delivery and your satisfaction are guaranteed.
Great action to shock, full highlight. He just could. Go, all, up, way!
NFL Primetime, tonight at 7 on ESPN.
Back at Wilkesboro Speedway, you may wonder why we haven't mentioned these 6 drivers. Well, they didn't qualify for the race. They went home. Dale Jarrett, Brad Teague, driving for Jimmy Means. Todd Bodine, who destroyed their short track car last week at Martinsville. Loy Allen, the TriStar Motorsports car, the Hooters machine. Tim Fedowa, and Mike Wallace, the Howling Myers car of Jimmy Dunleavy. Those 6 drivers did not qualify to start among the 36 today, so they are home. That's why we haven't mentioned their names here in our field rundown.
And our leader, Jeff Bodine, is in a big mess.
He really is. He's getting through them pretty good. He's already passed about 6 or 7 cars in that group. There were about 14 cars that were running in a pack. It was almost like Talladega when they hook up in a draft. They were running side by side, but the way that Exide Batteries Ford is handling, he was able to just flip them all, pass some on the outside, some on the inside, and just move right on around.
And there we see Kenny Schrader, the Kodiak guard, coming out of the pit just after completing a pit stop. Ooh, and Mark coming down right in front of DW. Almost made some contact. Jeremy Mayfield goes by Darrell, the Fingerhut car.
And here's a battle between Rusty Wallace and Rick Mast. That'll be for 3rd position. Rusty has the 3rd position right now. Mast is 4th. Dale Earnhardt is 5th. Those are the only 5 cars in the lead lap.
Now, Bill Elliott had managed to stay on the lead lap by virtue of those early pit stops just a moment ago. Jeff Bodine was able to go by him and put him a lap down, as he did Mark Martin. And they're being shown in 6th and 7th position.
And we see what happens when Rusty Wallace, he pitted just a few laps before these guys, so his tires a few more laps, so therefore his car is slower than Rick Mast. By the way, I want to take this opportunity to say hello to George Miller up in Connecticut. He's Pamela, one of our ESPN producers' dad. He had some back surgery on Thursday, I believe. He's doing great. He's home. And George, get well soon so I can beat you at golf.
Riding along with Rusty Wallace, his in-car camera. There's the Miller Genuine Draft Ford. He's shown back in the 4th position. 5 cars in the lead lap. Bodine, our leader. Terry Labonte in 2nd spot. Rick Mast 3rd. Wallace 4th. And Earnhardt is 5th.
Darrell Waltrip here, and you see the Delco Electronics telemetry in his car. Now, he he's been out there a while on this set of tires. I think he's been out there about almost 50 laps, so he's not going to be running the speed that he would if he had newer tires on. But he got about 106 or so on the straightaway, and earlier we saw it was about 118. They got it to 113 that time, so
he didn't even turn 8,000. Didn't even turn 8,000 RPM.
Our Chevrolet in-car camera with the Delco Electronics telemetry with old DW, Darrell Waltrip.
Well, we watched that Bill Elliott brings the Budweiser Ford down pit road.
That's right. He got lapped, so that means he's going to pit again, right?
Yep, that's the way he's done it.
It's worked for a while. Let's put down to John Kernan. This is the same car that they finished third with last week in Martinsville. Of course, they said on the outside of the front row. My team told me this morning, I'm not quite sure how it's going to run during the race, but we would love to have a top 5 finish. But Bill has been running in 7th a lap down. That's a pretty good pit stop, going under 18 seconds, 17.8. We approach the 100 laps to go mark, just 119 laps left. And here's the car number 41, the Meineke Chevrolet that's slowing on the racetrack. That is Joe Nemechek up the back straightaway.
He's coming into turn 3. It looks like he has enough speed that he'll be able to make it on around to the pits, whatever his problem is. Phil Parsons has been in the pits for quite a while up in turn 4. Darrell Waltrip, you see, comes down pit road into Western Auto Chevrolet as Nemechek gets his car on the pit road as well.
Remember, we have been caution-free for almost 300 laps. We have not had a caution yet today as you're riding with old DW. Getting service with Pete Peterson and company down in the pits. And John Kernan. Just a little bit of damage to the left rear bumper on Darrell Waltrip's car. Just a little few, maybe slight tire marks. But other than that, the Western Auto Chevrolet Aluminum was fairly clean. The 4-tire change for old DW as he sits there waiting patiently. Blood Duster Titan, 17.8 seconds. An excellent stop.
Hey, you reckon Darrell will be offended by us calling him old DW?
Well, we saw Joe Nemechek come down pit road. He is still on pit road. We understand that he might have a rear gearing problem on the Meineke Muffler Chevrolet.
Now remember, a minute ago we had our Chevrolet in-car camera with the Delco Electronics telemetry, and we showed Darrell Waltrip on used tires running, down the straightaway?
Well, we saw 113. There you saw 118, so it picked him up about 5 miles an hour, and he's even in a little traffic. So we'll look again. There, 116. So it's some 45 miles an hour faster, and that's because he's getting through the turns faster and is able to go down the straightaway faster. 118 again that time.
And the car number 41 heads to the garage area. That is the Larry Hedrick-owned Meineke Muffler's car, and here's a battle on the racetrack. 4th and 5th.
And Earnhardt takes that 4th spot away from Rusty Wallace.
Terry Labonte is 2nd, Rick Maskey 3rd, Earnhardt now 4th, and Rusty Wallace 5th. Those are the only cars on the lead lap.
Car number 24 now making a move inside of Rusty Wallace. That is Jeff Gordon. He is being shown a lap down in 8th position. Also Derek Cope in the straight arrow Ford. Bobby Allison Motorsports team begins to make a move and tries to. 112 laps remain at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Back with more in just a moment. Side tires, now gets left side tires. He is out of the way. Bill Weber.
Well, Jerry, another quick stop for this team. 15.7 on the one prior to this. Roger Penske is here today. He's spotting for Rusty Wallace and had a few comments about their pit strategy earlier. Rusty informed Roger to stick to spotting and they would work on the pit crew work. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, Buddy Parrott went to a TV production house in Charlotte, North Carolina. For several hours, he viewed videotapes of the team's pit stops. He found things that they thought could improve their performance even more. 15.7 earlier today. That's some good TV watching.
I guarantee you, Mark Martin comes down pit road as that was Rusty's pit stop a minute ago, less than 17 seconds. And here is Martin as you're riding on the roof cam of the Valvoline Ford Thunderbird at 35 miles per hour, and John Kernan is waiting on it. John?
I tell you, Jerry, from the time you say here he comes on pit road till he gets all the way down here, it seems like it takes forever. Another 4-tire change. Mark fighting the same problem he had before the last pit stop. The car has gotten very, very loose. Once again, adjusting the air pressure. Waiting to see if they will make a chassis adjustment. It doesn't look like it. Left side now going on. Jack has dropped 17.8 seconds for Mark Martin.
And Mark is being shown 2 laps down in 7th position by virtue of that pit stop as he comes back out as we approach the 100 lap to go mark. Next time by.
From inside Mark Martin's car, we saw Kenny Wallace, the Haviland car, head down pit road. There he is.
Well, I tell you, it seems like they're pitting about every 3rd or 4th lap that they aren't, but they're making a lot of pit stops.
You know, I know these crew chiefs crewmen are probably exhausted changing tires as frequently as they are, but you know, Jerry, you and I are exhausted because we usually sit down on the caution flag, and we stood up all day.
17.2 seconds. And hey, I'm usually down there in the pits, and I bet you John and Bill Weber are going to need oxygen before this day is over because they've been covering pit stops about every 7 or 8 laps. Did you see Kenny Wallace head back out with 99 laps to go? He is being shown in 10th spot.
And Earnhardt, the Goodwrench Chevrolet, coming down pit road. Now, he stopped before Rusty. No, Rusty just stopped a few moments ago. Okay, that's right.
It's an eternity from one end of pit road to the other at 35 miles per hour, but you can't afford the speed. You can't afford that penalty. He heads toward you, John Curtis.
Just a minute, Jerry. Let me remove the oxygen. Yes, we've been running up and down pit road. It'll be a 4-tire change. Richard Childress just told me that the car seems to be working about the best it has all day long. Remember his last set of tires before this pit set, he was very, very loose. They come around to the left side. It's the run nut tight. They have one that fall off. A little bit of a problem, but Dale Earnhardt is down and away 18.8. Yeah.
Obviously, that lug nut that fell off, they had to replace, probably cost them a second. That may not sound like much, but 18.8 and 17.8 is quite a difference. And here was our pole sitter, Jimmy Spencer, who collected his first Winston Cup pole here at Wilkesboro Speedway, and he is now being shown, Ned, way back as he makes another pit stop. Spencer in the car number 27 is being shown 7 laps back.
Well, he has had a tough day. That McDonald's Ford just not handling. Rick Mast, running in 3rd place, is coming into the pits now as Spencer gets his service. Mast in the Skoll Classic Ford. He was 3rd. And let's go to Bill Weber.
Rick Mast on pit road in this Skoll Racing Ford. This will be 4 tires and fuel, as has been the case. Rick doing a fine job. Remember, his best career finish is 3rd. He's got good runs at this track before. The left sides are on. Rick Mast is down and away.
As you pointed out, Jerry, he's got to be awfully careful not to speed down pit road. Now he can accelerate and go as fast as he can.
Now Terry Labonte, who's running in 2nd place, comes in the Kellogg Cornflex Chevrolet. Trying to keep under that 35-mile-an-hour speed limit as Brett Bodine looked like they was pushing his car into the garage area. They were indeed.
As we watch the right side going on this car, I want to watch the left side when they change it and they put the left rear on. When the car comes down, it looks like the left rear tire is almost flat. That's how little air pressure they're running in these cars. You ever see the thing coming off? They're throwing it on there. Get out of the way there. You see how the left rear tire, the almost flat, probably 12, 14 pounds of air in that tire. But the lower they can get them, the better adhesion they get.
Let's check in with John Kern. How about it, John?
Benny, you're exactly right. What they were trying to do, the car had gotten very, very loose. So Terry and Gary Dehart talked it over. They talked about dropping that air pressure to tighten the car up.
Rusty Wallace going by our leader, Jeff Bodine, but now Wallace has pitted and Bodine hasn't.
Okay, this time Rusty Wallace is in 4th place. Last time he did that, he was in 5th place. He just got back. He was 2 laps down until he made this pass. Mark Martin goes by. Mark is 2 laps down as well, so he will only be 1 and the distance behind the leader, Jeff Bodine. Wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Bodine coming here before too long.
Jimmy Spencer with fresher tires, able to make the pass. And Wallace, now we're at a race record pace. The race record, 107.360 miles per hour. That was set October 1992 by Jeff Bodine, our current leader, and that race went caution-free. Not a single caution, and right now we are caution-free, and Jeff Bodine, again, setting a record.
I think right now, I would think that Jeff Bodine would want to stay on the racetrack and get to about 80 laps to go or 75 laps to go. That way, you'd only have to stop one more time.
Okay.
Because all these other guys will have to stop again, too. So I would think he'd want to force the issue and try to get to about 325.
That's a very good point, Benny. How about that, Bill Weber?
Right on the money, champ. They're going to try and get to lap 331 with the XI back forward. That would be their final pit stop. They can go the distance from there. They just had a team meeting here atop of the toolbox, and they're going to try and get to lap 331. That would send Jeff out with his final pit stop.
His calculator is working too good.
There you go. Now, I've been there, and it's hard to think down there and all that noise, but Bill, that's exactly what they're trying to do. It's a good point.
It's 69 last, Bill. Just for your information, Bill, it's 69.
Okay. 85 laps to go, so we'll expect that pit stop at 331, which is about 16 laps away. We'll take a quick break and come back and catch what should be the final pit stop of our leader, Jeff Bodine, in just a moment. Stay with us.
Dear Midas, the brakes on my 4x4 were squealing, so I went to your shop. I came with my Midas guarantee, and I was prepared to fight to have it honored. Your people reviewed my records and inspected my car. Still unsure of the cost, I was told.
The shoes and pads are guaranteed, no charge.
Then my brakes were fixed. I was truly amazed. Thank goodness for honest people. Sincerely, Anna Touchstone.
She'll try to drown you. She'll try to freeze you. She'll try to burn you. She'll try to blow you away. But she will not succeed. The Nissan Pathfinder.
The same thing every Saturday. He puts on those old blue jeans and goes out with that old dog. And he's gone all day. He says he's going to bring back dinner. But all he ever brings back is that old dog.
Here's to old dogs, Saturday mornings, and comfortable blue jeans. Wrangler.
Back at North Wilkesboro Speedway, there's our Napa field summary. Jeff Bodine in a lap to himself. Now, he's yet to pit, but in a lap to himself. And, guys, a little trivia question. The last Tyson Holly Farms 500 winner to lap the field? Any guesses?
No. Well, you'd think it'd be Jeff Bodine, was it?
Well, that was close. He came very close in lapping the field 2 years ago. But Darrell Waltrip back in 1981, and that was the first of his 4 straight Holly Farms victories.
Wow.
Jeff Bodine is still waiting to pit. Let's check back in his pits with Bill Weber.
Working lap 324. Jeff Bodine wants to pit now, but his crew is urging him to stay out on the track. They're counting down the laps. Now it looks like they're signaling 1 lap, but they're trying to get Jeff to stay out at least until lap 329. They can talk it over between the crew and the owner and driver. Jeff Burton now is on pit road. Jeff's car was getting loose, but there's a very fine line between loose and tight, as Tire Man was telling me. They went ahead and dropped the air pressure in all 4 tires by 2 pounds to try and tighten up the car. Most of the cars seem to be getting a little loose as the race goes along. Still no problem with the Hoosier tires. 4 of them on the race. Best is 4th for the rookie points leader, and Jeff Burton returns to the race.
Burton down and away with 74 laps to go. Now, if what we heard a moment ago is that Bodine will pit on lap 331 for his final stop, and that is just 4 laps away. They come by this time with 3:27 in the books.
Jeff Gordon coming up there. Jeff is 3 laps down. He's being shown in the 9th position. Of course, he has fresher tires than does Bodine. Moves on the inside of Michael Walker. Michael having sort of a tough day here. He is down in 21st position.
Race Rick Mast, the Skull car, trying to overtake and does overtake Rusty Wallace. And hey, here's trouble.
Harry Gant.
And Harry Gant has come into contact hard with the front straightaway.
Oh, and Earnhardt and Jeff Bodine almost crashed coming down the start-finish line as Earnhardt was trying to get a lap back.
And he did indeed get the lap back.
But Earnhardt made some contact with the outside retaining wall, I think.
There's the Harry Gant car that's hit the inside retaining wall to bring out the caution flag. The Pontiac safety car already on. And let's watch again what happened to bring out the caution.
Harry Gant down the inside in the Skoll Chevrolet. There's Sterling Marlin on the outside. And Derek Cope gets loose, comes down into Harry Gant. Cope goes on. Gant hits the inside wall.
Now here's the race to the stripe that Benny... here's the leader in the pit. First, we'll show you this first. This is our live pit stop.
He's the only one on pit road. He's the only one on lead lap.
Well, isn't that great? He said, this is the way I like to see it. The only car. Look at that, folks. Not one other car. I'll tell you what, NASCAR can watch you real close this time to make sure you don't speed up.
They don't have to hurry because, you know, they don't have to worry about beating anybody out.
Okay, he's made his pit stop. 4 tires have changed. Lap 330. Now here's a replay of this run back to the start-finish line.
You can see Earnhardt coming up on Jeff Bodine. As he come down through there, their spotters have told him there's trouble. Earnhardt jumps up on the outside. He does indeed make contact with Bodine there just a little bit. And now gets on by and gets 1 lap back. That put him just 1 lap down. He was 2
and we
laps
could
down.
also see that he did not beat him back.
Oh.
Now they're going to hold Dale Earnhardt here at the start-finish line because he did not touch the wall. He may have been some contact with the right rear of the Jeff Bodine cars. They began to pick up the Harry Gant Skoll Chevrolet, but NASCAR now holding. See Earnhardt's car left side of your screen. They held him because according to the NASCAR replay on that video replay camera they have, he did not beat Jeff Bodine back to the start-finish line.
Well, our replay also showed that clearly that he did not beat him back to the line.
And that's going to be, that puts Earnhardt 2 laps down. Rusty Wallace, meantime, was only 1 lap down.
There's Rusty Wallace, the Miller Genuine Draft car. Rick Mast making a significant adjustment in the right rear of the Skoll. The car is valvely forward of Mark Martin sitting inside patiently. They drop the jack and Rusty back down pit road.
Another tough break that Earnhardt gets here is since they held him on pit road, he could not. You see, the Baia car had to back up. And all these cars are getting in front of the Terry Labonte cars. Earnhardt comes in. The fact he had to sit on the racetrack, all these cars, he'll have to start behind all these cars on the restart.
Yeah, he couldn't come in and make his pit stop when they did. He's coming down pit road now.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, good
Thanks,
point.
Ned.
Let's go to John Kernan in the Dale Earnhardt pit. John?
Well, I wish you could have seen the expression on Chocolate Meyer's face just a few moments ago whenever they got everything sorted out. We're holding Dale. There'll be a 4-tire change. The problem he's had with this last set of tires has been very tight going in. The car feels like it wants to push up into the turn. There's some damage on the left front of Earnhardt's car. I don't know if that's from where he hit Bodine. I've seen a couple of marks on the car earlier pit stops, but that the left side tires are now on, and Earnhardt sits there for a moment waiting, and finally he leaves pit road.
Now we will remind you that he is 1 lap down. Jeff Bodine is at a lap to himself. We are showing the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place cars as a lap down.
But Earnhardt's going to be 2 laps down.
So Jeff Bodine is our leader here after 333 laps are complete at the Wilkesboro Speedway. Back with more right after this. Way in the Tyson Holly Farms 400, and the reason for the caution flag here just moments ago out of turn 4, an incident involving Harry Gant. Now Harry was actually the victim here.
Well, we see Derek Cope in the 12 car. They're coming off turn 4. 4 car is Sterling Marlin. It looks like there's going to be just a little contact between Sterling Marlin and the 12. Looks like he just, well, I don't know. I thought there was contact, but now that I look at it, there might not have been. I don't want to put the heat on someone where there's not.
Yeah. But whatever the case, the 12 car did get loose, turned, and came down into Gant, knocked Gant into the wall.
Now, one crew that's basically been trouble-free. That smile is appropriate right there. That's Paul Andrews standing by with our Bill Weber.
Well, Paul Andrews, you guys have had a sensational day. What's been the key?
I'll tell you what, a great driver, Jeff Woodine. He's done a fabulous job. You know, Hoosier Tires give us an awesome tire for here. And Jeff can really drive these green tracks, these racetracks when they stay green. He just keeps running hard and pacing himself, and I think it's going to be a good day for us. You know, we've still got a little over 60 laps to go here, so we'll just have to see what happens.
I keep telling them you guys have changed tires, added fuel, and that's it, but they don't believe me. That's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all we've done is just change tires, put some more Hoosier tires on that thing, and haven't made any air pressure adjustments, any weight adjustments, just keep putting pressure over on it.
You get paid for a day like this?
Oh, yeah, we get paid.
They've earned their pay. They had to chase the car all weekend, but it was perfect on race day.
That's Paul Andrews, the crew chief. Danny Glad is the engine builder. Danny told me, you know, the key at these short tracks is torque. Not necessarily horsepower, but torque to get these cars off the corners.
Well, as much as you slow down in the turns here, you've got to have an engine that'll pull you off of those corners. If you got a tire that'll let you come off of there, a car that's handling so you can use that traction, or get the traction so you use that horsepower, well, then you're going to get around a racetrack like this.
Our Napa Field summary showing you where your favorite driver is running as we are just completing the first caution flag of the day, and the Pontiac safety car will pull away, and Jeff Woodine will lead them down. Lap 336, make it 337 as they come by.
And he's in a lap to himself. Ooh, Ricky Rudd and Rick Mass get together.
And Rick Mass is going to lose second. Third.
Hey, he might have done some damage to
He might have. There might be some serious damage to that one car. It looks like there is, Ned.
Oh, that's a tough break. Rick was running in second place, had a great run here today.
And here's what happened on the restart once again with the 1 car and the 10 car.
Well, you can see the 10 car, the tied 4 down on the inside, and all of a sudden he just goes right over into Rick Mast. I don't know if Michael Waltrip might have touched the 10 car back there and caused him to do that. I don't know.
I don't either. Looks like right now that Rick Mass is getting the car up to speed.
I'm sure that he was wondering just how much damage was done to that thing. It didn't feel right at the beginning, but now that he's running a little bit, it
looks to me like the left rear tire's about flat.
Now Rick Mast is still in 4th place. He is 1 lap down. There are 3 cars that are 1 lap down: Rusty Wallace, Terry Labonte, and Rick Mast.
There's Jeff Woodine, who is our leader. The Exide Batteries Ford Thunderbird from Woodine. In a lap to himself with Rusty Wallace in 2nd position. As you mentioned, Terry Labonte 3rd. Rick Mast trying to hang on the 4th spot. He is back at the rear of the field.
Oh, and the 4 cars spin. There's 3 or 4 several cars.
Morgan Shepherd is in it. Jimmy Hensley and Kyle Petty's car. Dick Trickle down on the inside, the black car.
Ward Burton spun the Hardee's Chevrolet, and now he comes around as the safety car pulls up right in front of our leader. And the track is almost blocked, so the Pontiac safety car, Elmo Langley, jams on the brakes as Morgan Shepherd loops his car number 21 around.
And there's a hood or something laying in the middle of the racetrack. A rear deck, something right there as Ted Musgrave goes by. You see a left rear tire flat on the 31 car.
Now this caution flag, there's debris. Looks like it's off the mellow yellow car that the Kyle Petty / Jimmy Hensley car. Jimmy, of course, subbing for Kyle Petty. Now this caution will be a break for the car number 1 of Rick Mast.
Yes, he was, because he needed to go in and see if there was any damage. And it looks like the 4 car maybe blew an engine going down the corners, what started all this trouble to begin with.
There's Sterling Marlin, and there is Rick Mast, who's all the way at the back of the field, and that's what you said, Benny, smoke out of the 4 car.
And it also gets in the 42 car. I'm not sure. We see the 4 car still smoking heavily. Darrell Walker goes through that without any problem.
John Andretti just comes with a complete stop. He has nowhere to go, but he's blocked by those 2 cars in front of him. So caution quickly for the 2nd time today here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Back with more. With him.
Jerry, I don't know if Sterling would like it if I called him the cause of this wreck, but Sterling, you told me the motor blew.
Yeah, the engine let go going down in 1, and Kyle's at the wrong place, the wrong time. He's on the outside, and the back end started around, and he just happened to be there to cushion me, and it tore their car if we hate it. But the motor let go, got in oil, and wasn't nothing we could do.
Well, it was Jimmy Hensley. He'd replaced Kyle, so.
Okay, maybe we'll be some mad then.
All right, Sterling Marlin had a great run last week. Day is over for this afternoon.
Well, you're right, John. We shouldn't call that him the cause. It was his engine that was the cause of that incident, and not Sterling Marlin. Back with more from Wilkesboro in just a moment.
Earnhardt, look at the Earnhardt.
Now, wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute. That ain't all. That ain't all. Watch this.
Watch the race back to the line.
Wallace tried to get back in the lead lap, but he couldn't do it.
And Ricky Rudd, who's 3 laps down, did get a lap back.
And there's Earnhardt in, and John Kernan is there. John?
A lot of right front damage. Now, Earnhardt, this is a couple of laps down. He came in because he'll have to go into the tail of the longest line. Rusty Wallace coming back out, but there's a lot of damage to that right front. In fact, after they get tires changed, they're supposed to check the toe as Rusty Wallace comes down. They drop the jet now, and Dale Earnhardt. Well, now Andy Petrie tells him something on the radio. Earnhardt stops momentarily. He'll pull away. They should be back down on pit road to adjust the toe because they think that the toe has been knocked out on that right front tire.
We can see some pretty heavy damage on the left front because the yellow markings are gone.
Now, the car number 2 was just in the pits a moment ago for a tire change. And Bill Weber, you were there. What all did they do to the car?
Jerry, they changed 4 tires, put fuel in, but the reason they had to come in is because that contact on the track broke the valve stem off the car. Rusty had a flat tire when he came in, so he didn't want to pit, but he had to. He was out of choices. Let's go to John Kernan.
Andy Petrie and the crew are awaiting the arrival of Dale Earnhardt back on. I told you they've changed the right side tires. Andy now looking as the car comes down, trying to figure out just how badly it's damaged. They'll go around to the left side now and pull the fenders off. They've got a fender rubbing on the left front. Now they're pulling away some of the stripping from the front of the air dam. Once again, looking inside, it looks like one of the crewmen might have tried to check the toe, or no, actually check to see if they could have adjusted it or pushed that fender back out. As we told you, they think that the toe has been knocked out on the right front. Earnhardt leaves now as the pace car comes back down the front straightaway, but he will be back in the next time by.
Now, Earnhardt is being shown in 8th place, 2 laps down.
Let's watch this again and see what happens to the 3 car. When this first happened, I didn't realize that Dale Earnhardt was involved in this. He comes off the corner and looks like he made a little bit of contact with the 24. Then he and the 40 get together, and Earnhardt back and forth, and bam, in the wall, and the 24 car trying to dodge. He hits the 8.
Yeah, the 21 car, Morgan Shepherd trying to dodge. He hits the 8 car of Jeff Burton.
And here's again what happened at the end of that lap as they race back to the caution flag.
Rusty Wallace makes a little contact with Bodine, gets inside of him, and watches these guys come off the corner. Heavy contact. Rusty, they're fighting the wheel. Rudd comes by on the inside. The only car to get a lap back to the leader, Jeff Bodine.
And here's the view from Mark Martin's in-car camera right behind Earnhardt. Now watch what happens again.
Maybe tap Jeff Gordon just a little bit.
And here's Darrell Walton trying to make it through.
It's going to happen right in front of you.
And John Kernan is with Jeff Burton.
Well, Jeff, I know you're disappointed. We got to stop meeting like you got caught up in it out there.
Yeah, we did. They went green a long time. Everybody used their heads. Everybody was racing really smart, and then 40 to go or 50 to go, everybody's got to go all of a sudden. And I don't know if the 3 car just had help or if he just got real loose under acceleration. I just saw him sideways down the front straightaway, and then everybody started piling into him, and just nowhere to go. I thought that had him missed, and then Morgan was, he was out of control. He couldn't help it. He got hit, so we're going to try to get back going.
Okay, he's going to get back in the car, and this team in the last 3 races, they finished 37th, 36th, and did not qualify. Back to North Wilkesboro in just a moment.
Well, Jeff, 42 laps remain here, and Jeff Bodine is the only car on the lead lap. If you just joined us, we went 330 laps caution-free, and in the last 28 laps, we've had 3 cautions.
Yes, but right now, the 5 car, Terry Labonte, the Kellogg's car, his car and the 1 have tires with about 5. Oh, and what's the smoke out of the 1 car? Rick Mass smoking as he comes off the corner.
Yeah, you started to say that here's Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt. Now, they had to start at the end of the longest line because they came in to pits too early. They came in, but Jeff Bodine was the only one that could have come in that first lap. And they came in and had to go to the rear of the longest line.
And
And Labonte is trying desperately to get a lap back. As I started to say, his tires are 5 laps fresher than Earnhardt, than Bodine's.
Talking about Terry Labonte. Meanwhile, what about the damage on the 3 car? John Kernan, how about it?
Gary, Dale Earnhardt in a number of times under that last caution. You all checked the toe. How bad was it? Were you able to fix it?
No, it's still towed out. We couldn't get it fixed. We was trying to get it, get some sheet metal off. So it looks like it's still running pretty good right there. It's not towed out too bad. Worse than with the sheet metal.
All right, that Rich Childers, as he watches, waiting for Dale Earnhardt to come back around.
Well, he's in some heavy traffic back there now, but still being shown in the 8th position, 2 laps down. And now there are 3 other cars that are also 2 laps down that are in front of Earnhardt. So he'll be trying to pass those. Those are Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, and Mark Martin. Now there are 3 cars that are 1 lap down, and that is Terry Labonte, who is in 2nd, Rick Mast, who is in 3rd, and Rusty Wallace, who is in 4th. And Rusty is way back in the pack. He's even behind Dale Earnhardt. Now see, there's Earnhardt coming off of turn 4. There's Rusty. He's in some pretty heavy traffic back there also. You wonder if he might have done a little bit of damage to his front end when he got against Jeff Bodine, as we saw Jeff Burton trying to come back out on the track there. Terry Labonte is still working hard trying to get around Jeff Bodine. He's getting up the side of him now, coming off of turn 2. Can he get back in the lead lap? He wants to in case there would be another caution. And he's going to do it going into turn 3.
I just wonder if there maybe isn't some damage to Jeff Bodine's car from when he and Rusty Wallace made that contact coming off of turn 4.
He took a pretty good lick there. How about it, Bill Weber?
The crew and the driver are confident their car's okay. In fact, I just talked to a couple of guys. They said it's hammer down and hang on. That's what they're going to do. They want to make sure everybody else can, too.
Now Rick Mast trying to get his lap back right behind Jeff Bodine. And Mast was involved in that shunt on the 2nd caution flag, and they came and pitted. He benefited by the 3rd caution flag coming out with him at the tail end of the field getting to come in and make a pit stop. There's Terry Labonte, who's still on the Chevrolet. 1 here in the spring. On the tail end of the lead lap, right in front of our leader, Jeff Bodine.
So now there are 2 cars in the lead lap. Bill Elliott, you see there, the 3rd car in line behind Jeff Bodine is in 5th place. He is 2 laps down.
Bodine, 2 wins this year, coming at Pocono in Michigan, trying to pick up his 3rd win in 1994.
Good battle between Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon right behind Bill Elliott. They're running side by side for the 6th position. Mark Martin trying to take it away. He does, going down into turn 1. Well, he almost had it. Now he has it.
It said that is 6th spot.
6th and 7th right there on your screen, and not too far ahead of them is Bill Elliott. So he's in the same lap they are. That is 2 laps down to the leader.
Once again, Jeff Bodine is our leader. Only 2 cars in the lead lap, Bodine and Terry Labonte, who is directly in front of Bodine. There is Labonte, left side of your screen, and Bodine. Lowest starting spot of the Tyson Holly Farms 400 winner previously, 16th. Dale Earnhardt back in 1991. And Bodine in the car number 7 started 18th today. But boy, has he had a dominant afternoon here on the 5/8 mile short track at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Back with the closing laps of the Tyson Holly Farms 400 right after this. Right side of your screen. Backside forward. Now coming up later today, Senior PGA Tour, the Vantage Championship from Tanglewood Country Club in Clemens, North Carolina. Just about 30 minutes from here. That's live at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Playing partners Jim Dent and Larry Gilbert shot identical 66s yesterday and were tied for the lead with 2-stroke advantage over Ray Floyd, Bob Charles, and others. Lee Trevino, some 7 strokes back. Final round coming up at 4:30 this afternoon. Battle here back for 5th position.
Mark Martin moving up on Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott currently has the 5th position, but Mark has moved in closer and closer on the Budweiser Ford. You're seeing exactly what Mark Martin is seeing, that big Bud right in front of him.
Once again, we'll watch the RPMs, 8,300. Just watch the tack as he goes up, up, up.
The range is about from 4,900 to about 88.
Right now, until at the floor speed he gets down to 69 miles an hour, up to about 120 miles an hour. A little over 120, 124.
And while we're watching this, Jeff Bodine has just went around Terry Labonte and put him a lap down once again. So now Jeff Bodine is the only car on the lead lap.
There are 3 cars that are a lap down. Terry Labonte, of course, the car in second spot. The car number 1 of Rick Mast. Good run for Mast in third, and Rusty Wallace in fourth. Those 3 cars are a lap down. Other results around the country, NASCAR racing action. Whoa, before we do that, here's a result of contact with apparently the concrete, possibly a cut tire on the Ward Burton Hardy Chevrolet.
Right front tire's flat on that car as he drags the racetrack trying to get back to the pits, and looks like he is going to make it, and the caution flag will not come out.
Other results around the country in NASCAR action this weekend. Yesterday, our last night at Hickory Speedway, Ernest Winslow, the winner down there. Will Hobgood finishes second, Junior Miller third, and Will Hobgood becomes the 1994 Goodies Dash Series National Champion. Congratulations to Will Hobgood. Stock car racing, South Boston Speedway, South Boston, Virginia. Wayne Patterson, Stacy Compton, Richard Lander. Stacy Compton wins the track championship. Late model stock car action here yesterday. Mike Dillon, son-in-law of Richard Childress, finishes at the top of the pack. Scott Kilby, Dennis Setzer finishing second and third here in the Lowe's 150.
And Dale Jarrett didn't do too good. He didn't make the field here for this race, but Jason Jarrett held up the Jarrett family, but he won last night at Hickory in the Limited Sportsman and won Rookie of the Year honors.
Congratulations to Jason Jarrett. Well, we'll be back with about 10 laps to go and see if Jeff Bodine can hang on. Back in a moment.
Fans, the 94 race.
4th time a day, and Michael Waltrip just gets his car looped out in front of Kenny Schrader and Darrell Waltrip, who are racing back to the caution flag here on lap 392. Apparently some contact, and I think Michael had a little bit of help up there between turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, John Andretti and the Richard Petty STP Pontiac got into the left rear quarter panel of this Pennzoil Pontiac, and Michael's going to come up there and talk to him about it a little bit. And they're going to restart this race pretty quickly, but Michael comes up to let him know that. And Michael has a left rear tire flat on that car.
Sure does.
Come in. And while we're looking at Pennzoil Pontiac, we mentioned that Harry Gant, Dave the Parade, and everything have been canceled tomorrow, but that ball game on Tuesday night for Mark Hayes, who's a member of Michael Waltrip's crew who has cancer, is still going on at Frank Liskey Park, Concord,
North Carolina, right between 29 and 49.
And here comes the Pennzoil Pontiac down pit road. Mark Hayes, of course, part of that Bahari crew. They will change both right and left side tires.
Mark is here today. Mark Hayes is in the pits. They're going to have to pick that car up on the left side because that tire was flat over there.
Safety car has the field very, very slow. They will get the green flag next time by, and it will be 7 laps to go.
Single file restart, under 10 laps. Single file restart.
Good point, Ned. That's exactly right. It's not a double file restart. And these guys are certainly not accustomed to that.
Okay,
Yellow's back out.
This lap.
And they're trying to get apparently some of the cars in position. So you see Doyle Ford there waving off the restart as they're trying to get some of these cars in position for the single file restart.
Oh, now they give them 1 lap to go this time around, and what they were trying to do, they just didn't remember that they're accustomed to a double file restart, so they were going to run up there and do it. But under 10 laps, that is the new NASCAR rule.
And while we're under caution, take a look at our field summary where your favorite driver is running with just a few laps remaining. Jeff Bodine, Terry Labonte.
I thought
thought Rusty Wallace, being a lap down, could pull up right on the back bumper of Rick Mast under those rules. He can't do that? I thought all the cars one lap down could run nose to tail. Or is it just a lead lap? I guess it's just a lead.
I think it's just a lead lap.
It's just the lead lap cars, and all the other cars got to follow single file in wherever they can follow. Okay. Now I understand the rule. Thank you very much, man.
Okay, so we get set for a restart. It'll be 6 laps to go. And the battle is going to be for second spot. 5-1, 6 and 11, and restart lap 395.
There's a real battle. The 6 and 11 are a couple laps down.
They are battling for position.
Yes, they are.
Position. But,
these guys, the 5 and the 1, are battling for second spot.
Exactly. Working on tearing the body almost out of it going into turn 1, but couldn't quite make it.
And let me tell you that Dale Earnhardt got by Jeff Gordon, and that helps in the points battle because he gets 3 extra points. In fact, he's picked up that 4. That's right, 4 points. In fact, he's picked up that spot. There he is in front of Jeff Gordon.
That puts him now in 7th position. He's still 2 laps down, but now in 7th spot behind Bill Elliott and Mark Martin, who are 6th and 5th, also 2 laps down. 3 laps to go for our leader, Jeff Bodine. There's Earnhardt now showing back in 7th spot. Gordon is 8th.
And Ricky Rudd up there trying to pass Earnhardt, and indeed did pass him. He didn't know what he might have been racing him for position, but Ricky is being shown 3 laps down.
Well, I think Ricky wants to get to the 16 car right in front of him because they're racing for position.
They indeed are, and Ricky's getting up beside us going into turn 1.
And that would be for
10th position, I believe it is here.
10th spot. There's our leader, who would come by for the white flag. This time out of turn 4, Jeff Bodine trying to pick up his 3rd victory in 1994. Final lap. In a lap to himself, the battle will be for second spot as Rick Mast now pulls to within 2 car lengths of Terry Labonte in the backstretch. There's Bodine. There, the right side of your screen is the battle for second position. On pit road, Jeff Bodine takes the win, and Rick Mast nearly catches the concrete as we still have a couple of cars bumping and banging here on the final lap, and Jeff Bodine waving to the crowd. His 3rd win in 1994 in the Exide Batteries Ford Thunderbird. We'll hear from the winner when we come back to the Wilkesboro Speedway right after this. Morning. Jeff Bodine has made the ride atop the infield media center and gets himself all gussied up for victory lane.
I can't believe this primping.
Let's listen. He didn't need that battery today. He was charged all afternoon. Let's go down to John Kernan. John?
Well, Jeff Bodine, do the words dominating performance mean anything to you today?
You know, I've had good cars in my life. Come here, Bob. I've had good cars. Paul, come on in here. But this is the best. And this crew, I got to apologize for last week. Same car. We could have done the same thing last week. I messed up. We did it today, though. This Exide Ford was just flying. Hoosiers, hey, they're here to stay, aren't they?
Hey, this driver is the greatest guy in the world.
Matt, Barry, I love you guys. You're back home.
You said last week you had the same car. You could have done this at Martinsville. What'd you figure out between Martinsville and here?
Same car, same everything. I just didn't make a mistake today. Last week we had a flat tire and it messed the car up and that ruined our day. Today everything went good. We got a few bumps and scratches here, but this thing was awesome out there. A lot of fun for us race fans. It got pretty wild there on some of those restarts, but a good race. It proved the Hoosiers are tough on the short tracks. We wanted to do that. Again, a friend of ours died here a little while ago, Mike Dupas. And Mike, hey, we know you're watching. This one's for you.
Okay, Jeff, let me ask you one more thing. You were talking about some wild moments on the restarts. Wild moment for you when Rusty was racing you back, trying to get his lap back.
Well, he's trying to get his lap back. That's what the people like to see. That's what he's supposed to do. I did what I was supposed to do. I kept him back there.
Well, Jeff Bodine with a dominating performance. Let's go to the garage area where Bill Weber is standing by.
With the defending Winston Cup champion, Dale, 208 points after this one. Obviously a long day, but you accomplished what your ultimate goal is.
Well, when you get a chance to direct a race like we did today on TV, and then it don't come out like you wanted to direct it, you know, that's the way it goes. But still, you know, we ended up 7th after I got into the 40 car. I broke loose and got into him and caused that melee up there and got into the wall myself. But we came back and ended up 7th, so I'll take it, heck.
You've had a love-hate relationship with Charlotte. Is that the big hurdle for you, Dale, to get through there?
I think we'll be okay at Charlotte. We got a good race car for there, and we're looking forward to being there. Good
Dale
at Wilkesboro.
Dale Earnhardt.
Fade to black.
Not yet. We're not quite done not yet. Now, Dale Earnhardt was in our truck and directed the opening of the telecast. Brought us on the air and went, boy, that's great when a 6-time Winston Cup champion does that for you. Dale, thanks a lot as he comes home today in 7th spot. Back with more in just a moment. It's a critical time of the year when decisions have to be made with regard to silly season. Who's going where and with what sponsor?
I felt like today's race was very important. I think Charlotte, Rocky, and all the remaining races of the year, very, very critical to a lot of team success and future and a lot of drivers' success and future. Here's cars that are without confirmed driver or sponsor in 95. Some of them have a sponsor, they don't have a driver. Some of them has a driver, no sponsor. And look at these guys, Ned.
There's a big list of them there. Some of them will be announced perhaps next week. We've heard rumors of that. Maybe Junior Johnson will make an announcement this coming week. But still a lot of things to be settled as far as who will be where in 1995.
And look at this list of drivers that really, without a confirmed ride for 1995, something we haven't been, they haven't told us if they've got a ride. Lake Speed, Jeff Green, Huss Strickland, Phil Parsons, Bobby Owen, Rich Bickle, Brett Bodine, Jimmy Spencer, Bobby Labonte, Chuck Bound, Jimmy Hensley, Joe Nemechek, Wally Dallenbach, John Andretti, and Jeff Purvis. Man.
Now, some of these drivers have options. They just maybe haven't made up their mind or haven't announced their decisions yet. But we'll find out probably in the next 10 days as silly season gets in high gear. Back with more from North Wilkesboro Speedway right after this. Stay with us. This record crowd estimated at close to 50,000 begins to file out. And the man who finished 4th today is standing by with our Bill Weber.
Well, Rusty Wallace, you had to battle it today in the Miller Genuine Draft Ford.
Yeah, we had a good run, though. I mean, finished 4th, but I just had a couple of crazy things happen. The wildest thing is breathtaking deals. The throttle kept hanging wide open. I'd come down the front straight wide open, get out of the throttle, and just stay going. And it did it about 6 or 8 times during the day, and I just couldn't, I didn't trust it. You know, every lap you go in a corner, you're going, is it going to hang or isn't going to hang? And after the race was over, we looked underneath it, and the gas pedal was hanging up on a flat washer that was holding the floor mat down. So really strange deal, but I got myself out of sync with pit stops. And then right there at the end, I tried to get old Bodine, get my lap back there, and got into him, blew the right front tire out. So, you know, we were pretty well locked into 4th, so I just rode that one out. But key thing, just picking up points and Earnhardt, just nipping away at him. That's what I need to do.
Yeah, you need to take a big bite out of it, and unfortunately for you, you couldn't get it done today.
Well, if I can't take big ones, I'll take those little ones and see what happens when it's all over.
Okay, Rusty Wallace, now let's go to...
Thank you, Bill, with Rick Mast. Rick, 3/3 this year, your best career finish, but I tell you what, you had to breathe a sigh of relief after Ricky got in to you there.
That was a bad deal, you know. I think 8 cars, somebody missed a shift, and, you know, I guess really nothing Ricky could do. You know, he hit his brakes and cut up into me. We knocked the toe out a little bit when that happened and messed the car up. You know, but still, we was real fortunate. I thought we done cut a tire, but we was fortunate to finish the race, I guess. But, you know, the car ran good. You know, the guys had good stops. It was a little cooler today than we expected. We had our car a little bit too tight, especially the last half of the race, man. The car got real tight. I think the track got tight. We kept taking bite out of it and working on it. And the second half of each run, my car would be a little better than Terry's or Jeff's. But the first half, man, they just kicked my butt, you know, and we just drive and doing all we could do to try to outrun them. And then there at the end, we just basically trying to hang on. You know, the thing wasn't driving just cycling right after the wreck. And, you know, Jeff's car was good, and Terry, boy, both of his cars were awesome. I'll tell you, my guys had an awesome car. You know, this deal here is no different. You know, I finished 3rd. You interviewing me so many times this year, man. I've done said it and blew in the face. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing it, but we could be here a lot of times, you know, not for problems going on. But, you know, this team's for real, man. We'll be here.
Well, we saw some good pit stops today. They go to Charlotte next week, and Rick led several laps, a number of laps at Charlotte back in the spring, so they look for a really good finish next week, too.
Gotta love Rick Mast. He doesn't mince words. Boy, early in the race, they kicked my behind. He said it a little bit differently, but there's the car number 1. He drove to an impressive third-place finish, the Skoll Ford Thunderbird. Back with more post-race reaction right after this. Stay with us. And the winner, Terry Labonte, Rick Mast, Rusty Wallace, and Mark Martin rounding out the top 5.
And 6th through 10th, Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, and Ted Musgrave.
11th through 15th this afternoon was Kenny Wallace, Bobby Hamilton, Darrell Waltrip, Kenny Schrader, and Bobby Labonte.
16 through 20, Dick Trickle, John Andretti, Ward Burton, Derek Cope, and Steve Grissom.
21st through 25th, we see Michael Waltrip, Hut Strickland, Jimmy Spencer, the pole sitter, Dave Marcus, who had a good qualifying run, finished 24th, and Lake Speed come home 25th.
26 through 30, Jimmy Hensley in place of Kyle Petty in the 42 car, Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Burton, Jeff Green, and Morgan Shepherd.
And 31st to 35th, Sterling Marlin, Harry Gant, his final trip to North Wilkesboro Speedway, Brett Bodine, Joe Nemechek, and Greg Sachs. And in 36th position, Phil Parsons in the car number 9, driving the Harry Melling Ford Thunderbird. Now, how about the top 20 in points?
Well, of course, Earnhardt still leads by, 208 points over Rusty Wallace. Mark Martin is 3rd. Ken Schrader remains 4th, and Ricky Rudd remains 5th.
And let's see, 6th is Morgan Shepherd. Jeff Gordon is 7th. Bill Elliott is 8th. Terry Labonte, 9th. And Darrell Waltrip is 10th. And those guys pretty tight, 8th through 10th.
Labonte jumps a spot to 9th spot. 11th through 15th, Michael Waltrip, Sterling Marlin. Look at 12th and 13th, Ernie Irvin, Ted Musgrave, Lake Speed.
And 16th through 20th, Jeff Bodine moved up a couple of notches into points today. Jimmy Hensley. That should be Kyle Petty, I believe. Rick Mast in 18th place. Bobby Labonte's 19th, and Brett Bodine moved up into 20th.
That is Kyle Petty there. Jimmy Hensley was subbing for Kyle today, but a tremendous afternoon. It was overcast early in the day, and we got the race started in a hurry because of rains in the area, so that's why we were finishing a little bit early here, but a great win. His 3rd of the season. His 3rd at North Wilkesboro Speedway and 17th career victory for Jeff Bodine. Of course, coming up later on today, Shop Talk featuring Robert Yates following our conclusion of coverage of today's Tyson Holly Farm.